Loving you.
So
Loving me. Loving you. Loving me. I believe in a thing called love.
I was talking to these
I would
customers
never
today.
do that song karaoke. What'd they say?
Well, I was with my dad, and then they're more my age, our age, whatever. And then we were talking about we're remodeling this apartment complex, and she said the neighbor next door is in rehab for meth right now. And then she said something to the
Always
fact,
fun time.
right? And she said something to the effect that she goes, drugs are bad. You know, without fucking dropping a beat, I go, okay.
Okay.
And they both
Do a
started
little
fucking
MK
laughing.
jab in there.
And they were like, oh, our kids watch South Park. I was like, I fucking love that show, man. Drugs are bad, okay?
Kind of wish Trash Man was here. Is he? Because I wonder if he's watching the game.
It's pretty close,
Yeah.
though, ain't it?
Toronto still has the lead, though, still by 3.
Where's Trash Bandicoot? Anybody even heard from him today?
I'll text him.
He chirped me in the group chat. I chirped him right back, but I haven't heard from him since.
Trash Panda.
Send him that picture I sent. Actually, I got it. I got it. Are you texting him, Marco?
Yeah. I didn't send him the picture.
I am. All right, everybody's got a sizzler this week, right? Let's fucking finally nail that one down.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And we might as well just fucking play him in the background, eh? Or do you want us to give them to you, Tyler, and you put them in, or how do you want to do that?
I'll give him. You can give him to me. I'll put him in as like a bed for however long it is. I know if I exceed 30 seconds, we kind of get in trouble, but fuck it. If it's a little bit longer, I don't really care.
Yeah, we're so small, nobody's coming after us. I don't know what's going on there, Tyler. Have you looked into that at all?
Huh?
Getting us on iTunes.
I was going to ask you because I figured you did it. You did all the grunt work to get us to this far, and I figure you.
So what you do is you go on. The way I got us on Google Play was I would repeatedly jump on the Anchor platform, and I would listen to the podcast there, and then it would say, "Don't see it on the app you want," and then you click that button and you tell them what you want, and Google Play, because that's what I use. And that's how I got it on there so quick. So I'm wondering if it's because they'll push you on iTunes, but you have to have like X number of subscribers or whatever. So maybe we ought to start actively campaigning there. I set up something with iTunes. I set up the.
That's what I thought.
I set up the iTunes account so I could upload it directly onto iTunes, but not link it so it's shared across it. So that's what I didn't do. I'll work on
it. That makes sense now.
Yep. If you want to go on Anchor and try to mess with all that in iTunes, feel free. I didn't make a separate account.
Because I know for a while there, like Pat and them used the Anchor link as the iTunes link. And I knew there was a way to do that. So now that makes sense.
Yep. So if you want to go on there, go for it. You've got the iTunes or the Anchor password and everything, right?
Yeah, I saved it the day you gave it to me.
Okay. So what I need to do is go upstairs and search the Loudmouth Degenerates on my iTunes and see if there's a way to request it or whatever. I'll do that from the other computer upstairs later. And I'll also consult the Apple Help Desk, aka my wife.
Right. Yeah, see, I knew you had gotten somewhere, but I just wasn't exactly sure if we were like waiting out a waiting period or what exactly was the deal.
So what it is I don't have an Apple Music account right now. My wife does, right? I mean, we share. I mean, all the devices except for my desktop on my desk have Apple Music on them, unless I want to switch to her profile and then I can grab it or whatever.
Right.
Anyway, I have it all set up on TV and upstairs and all that, and so I don't ever use Apple at work. Does that make sense? Except for my computer, my desktop, I don't use Apple Music. So it totally
Makes sense.
it slipped my mind to think about. Yeah, I don't know. I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out, right? I was looking for right, right. We're bloody well right. TANGO. Maybe we have to get a grain sack and rustle it, and then
Here's
it'll
some
magically
news.
appear.
Bing, 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 bing. And I don't know if we brought this up before, but starting in 2020, Nevada employers
I saw
cannot
that.
refuse to hire a job applicant for failing a marijuana screening test.
They made it illegal basically to they basically banned marijuana screenings.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. It's the first state in the country to do it. And I think that this should be a thing. I think it should be everywhere. This is a complete waste of time.
I found it. I'm dropping it.
Our state's slowly coming around to that sort of thing. Just slowly, though.
A lot of states are slowly coming around. Wisconsin's pretty much surrounded by legal marijuana now.
Walmart's not even doing drug tests anymore because all the drugs they catch are freaking marijuana related. They ain't coke or meth related.
I will say this. The newspaper here, when the drug enforcement team, like I forget what it's called, Kind or Upset or whatever it's called in the area. It's an acronym too, anyway, whenever they are busting people now that marijuana has gone legal on the Michigan side of the river, it's for meth, it's for heroin, it's for human trafficking, there's no pot stores anymore. It makes me less conflicted with authorities and makes me view them in a more favorable light. And I think that's one of the better parts of marijuana legalization that's not really being talked about is the reparation of community, so to speak.
That doesn't,
Whenever I see police, I generally think of a number of things because I grew up in a small town. Also, all those years I worked with search and rescue. I worked with them behind the scene. I do not unanimously support all police officers in every scenario. I don't believe that they do deserve that. I think a lot of what's going on right now is they're a victim of their own enforcement tactics, right? It's kind of blowback. I'm not saying that they deserve it by any means. I'm not saying that anyone deserves it if they're a public servant but no one's out here shooting up firefighters. I'm just throwing that out there. Right? I've been shot at as part of search and rescue before, so that's a different story for another time. So it's for me to see a police officer and think, okay, I have marijuana in the car, but that doesn't make me a criminal anymore. Right. And therefore, I view them more favorably because I'm less likely to, be extorted and everything else for something that is basically medicine to my body. I have Lyme disease, which we've talked about a little bit before, but I can't sleep at night. And during the day, it's my joints feel like they're on fire in my back, But I'm a farmer. I got to do what I got to do. So on my side of the river where I live, it's a super dangerous, ultra scary crime still here in Reefer Madnessville. But on the other side of the river, it's perfectly legal. It's a very weird juxtaposition. I view the cops on my side of the river generally as the enemy. The other cops on the other side of the river as more of an ally.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I don't call 911. I am 911. No.
Oh, yeah.
See this? I am 911. That door was unlocked for your safety, or was locked for your safety, not mine. My buddy's one of them Peckerwoods is just praying someone breaks into his house, right?
Just so they can cock the gun and do the whole gimmick.
Well, there's like swords and battle axes and everything,
Oh,
right? And I keep trying to convince him, dude, you just created like the worst house to ever live in Tornado Alley. But he's not having it. He's pretty sure that this portal's going to open up from the sky and the medievalry is going to drop from it in the middle of the night. And he's going to have to fend off demons and aliens and intruders and zombies, which I don't disagree with him about the zombies part. It's good to be prepared. There is a
But-
zombie survival guide that is worth reading out
But you
there.
also
The rest
freaking hear about them people that are like, of that descent, and then just like one fatal shot in the head, boom, dead.
right.
Couldn't anticipate that one.
Yep. Doesn't matter how many samurai swords you got hung on the wall when a sniper catches you.
Well, that storm in the middle of the night takes your house out, boom, dead.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't do that now. Damn it.
If you can imagine being in a trailer park in a tornado, it's bad enough. Now you go throw in the fact that there are sharp medieval instruments align the walls, right? That are now becoming flying objects. It's a bad scenario. Not only it's public health crises, to be honest, because it's not only bad for him, it's bad for everybody in the debris zone.
Like,
Can you imagine that shit? You're standing a half mile away and a fucking sword falls out of the sky, sticks in the ground like Braveheart, right in front of you.
and
What
that's
do you do?
that's just immediate danger. Like,
Yeah, do you
immediate.
pull it out of the ground and be like, "Oh, I'm the chosen one," or
Like,
you know?
fucking, we've had storms around here where they've like blown debris from like Grand Island, which was like an hour like east of here.
yeah, the particulates, and the dust. I mean, the dust goes way up. That's if you ever lived in tornado country, you know about this phenomenon, how the dust
I'm
gets sucked up in the tornado.
Technically, I'm technically
Yeah,
in the top of it,
Yeah,
top
you're in
end
the
of tornado.
plains.
top end of Tornado Alley. Yeah.
Yep. Speaking of Tornado Alley, Hurricane Marco over here.
So
So
Where
how
you at
much
on
weed
the-
were you transporting the other day?
Oh, on air asking questions.
I didn't realize we're on air.
Yeah,
Allegedly a quarter pound.
allegedly.
Actually, it was over that. It was
Yeah.
and now it's over.
Oh wow! Damn.
So Marco, let's use the Fujita scale as a fucked up scale, like how drunk are you kind of thing. Right. So 1 through 5, F1 being a little dinky ass tornado to F5 being thumb of God. Where are you at?
Let's spin it around about a 3.
By 3. Taking out a trailer park, but not the school, huh?
Yeah.
Attaboy.
You
Take
got
out all the pedophiles in the trailers.
you got some gasolina, but it's not all gasolina.
Dame más gasolina.
Oh shit.
Ah, shit.
Tango. 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 And Tango was his name.
That's good.
Yeah. What's up, eh?
I am blue. How's
I'm
that
just trying to
song
get
go?
my.
You're blue. You're in
Screen's
need of a
reformatted here.
guy. You're in need of a guy. You're
You're
in
a
need.
silhouette. For those who don't understand what we're talking about, Google Hangouts has all of our videos and or avatars at the bottom of the screen.
That's the thing.
And apparently Tanner is blue. He's a boy.
Is there some in there still?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I just making sure.
You guys can't see me.
Cannot
you're
see
blue.
you. Sometimes it helps me to hang up and try again.
I did that like last time.
Are you on your computer, Tanjo, or no?
Yeah.
Might need to give her a restart because that's what I ran into last time we did this.
Yeah,
Like,
me too.
So you
Well,
might
fucking
need.
do it again.
Well, fucking get it a restart and get the fuck right back here. All right. Oh
Yeah,
no!
there we are. Oh, there we go.
Let's go.
Get the
Fire
fuck
it.
out of here.
Can we fire it up with some atmosphere, please?
I got the intro coming. We're gonna do Brother Ollie. Or again, that was awesome. You guys ready?
Do it.
What?
Do
What?
it.
What? Where's Trash Man? You hear from him yet?
Anybody
No.
check? Like I said, nope.
Well, let him know
Okay.
we're starting now.
Okay.
Dude,
Please.
I'm gonna tell him, or at least tell the
Forgot the
group.
word, please. Maybe we ought to start it off with Tanner singing. What do you believe in,
Again,
Tanner?
what do you want me to say? I think.
What do you believe in?
Why don't you just play the video instead of me redoing this?
Again, we don't have money for fancy things.
Tanner, I want to hear you sing Meatloaf. I would do anything for love.
Ooh, I don't have
No.
that in me tonight.
No, you can do 7 minutes of Paradise in the Dashboard Light.
Shut the fuck up. I want to hear I would do anything for love.
I am capable of singing both of those songs.
Hey, did you
Galaxy S?
Sorry, guys.
did you check out my link,
Shut your mouth
Tango?
when you're talking to me.
What's that, Tyler?
Did you check
Shut
out my
your
link I
mouth.
sent you about that, Tanjo?
Which?
Should be the KLOS sessions.
Oh yeah,
Did you
yes,
dig that?
that was pretty awesome. Okay,
There's-
cousin Mike.
Who the fuck has a real phone?
What are you calling him from your landline?
No,
Oh,
no.
What are you,
Porn.
Amish?
Pulling up shit on YouTube.
Wouldn't that be some shit if like Amish people got to like upgrade to like shit we don't use anymore? Like they can use VCRs now.
They can use tractors and they can use power tools.
But
with
they can't hold on,
computerized
but they can't
technology.
use they can't use the power tools we use now. They got to use the old shitty
It's
power
all-
tools with
It's
the
all
shitty
case
old
by
batteries.
case.
The cabinet shops, they use the latest technology and can get their hands on. They're trying to automate too.
It's all family by family though, because the ones around here are super old school. They won't take any outside technology.
Oh, all the Amish around here has been all like, let's industrialize this bitch.
Yeah, and like the ones down home where I'm from by La Crosse, they're that way too. The ones way up here, they won't touch
You guys
anything.
ever go to an Amish barn party? You ever been to a barn party?
I used
Off the
to,
record, I have.
Amish?
yeah.
Yeah, off the record.
On the record,
I
I went to the one in the movie The Drive or whatever it's called, and that one looked awesome.
So apparently I
Sex
could have got
drive?
paid for my services, but the way
That one.
Amish girls
Edit.
grab you and pull you behind the barn,
Let's go ahead and start
and
that over.
they're,
Let's go
they're
ahead and
trying to
start
get
that story
pregnant because
over.
they need new jeans.
Let's start that story over. Go ahead.
Did
You're remixed.
you get a little robotic?
Scoped.
A little bit.
Okay, so apparently I was doing for free what should have been a paid position. You guys been to Amish barn parties, right? So those little Amish girls grab you
Sure.
and take you behind the barn, right? And they pull the condoms off because they want to get pregnant because they need new jeans for the colony, and they know this. It's kind of like a sanctioned, unsanctioned thing, right?
Are you fucking
And,
telling me
yeah,
you
it'd be
got
fun or
kids
whatever.
running around?
Did you get raped?
Well, I just relax, all right? But here's the thing: all them
Hold on,
bitches
did
got
you get me too?
STDs.
Are we
They
having
don't
a
believe
moment?
in all that. So you don't fuck with Amish girls because you get the clap as a minimum. Just so you know.
Are we speaking from personal experience
Are you admitting you have the clap?
No, I do not have the clap.
anymore?
The clapper in
Yeah,
my
that-
house, turn off lights, and I don't actually have one, but I will always wanted to do that.
You must have just went to a party and just got that burning sensation afterwards.
Oh, I heard
That's
they
where
got
the
that
Ajax
bonfire.
comes in.
That's what the Ajax does come in.
Yeah,
Yikes.
shaving your pubes don't help whenever it's on the skin,
Yikes.
though.
That's for crabs, bro.
Yeah, well,
hit 'em
it's
with the
kind of like a
shampoo.
blanket policy, just right off the bat. Just go ahead and get rid of all the vegetation.
I mean, it worked for Chernobyl.
No more shrubbery.
Hey,
All right,
Tyler,
Tanner, you ready? I
Hey,
got
Tyler.
something for you.
What's up,
Just-
Tanner?
just delete the last 5 minutes of content.
No, I think we got to keep
No.
all of this in from the time we started.
No, usually before Matt plays music, I delete and save for later.
I wouldn't. That's some of our best shit.
Save for later, you fucker. We're just gonna have like an editor's cut.
That's our
episode someday.
Our hits.
Like
Tanner.
I want it to be a weekly thing. Actually, Matt and I has discussed it.
Can't explain all the feelings that make me feel. My heart's a paper down and your hands on the steering wheel.
It would have been a great idea for Tanner to be listening to music and then singing.
Great one, Tan.
That was fucking terrible.
That was the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. Next time,
Oh,
Tanner gets to play the music while he's singing.
I think
Yeah, it was laggy
The
as
acoustics
fuck.
weren't ready.
But he was going with it, so I went with it too. It was like a 4-second delay on my end.
the delay just kept getting bigger and bigger.
All right, so now we
Yeah.
know that from now on.
We'll just save that for when we're together.
You should play some Gloria and then do an intro, and then we'll rip snort into what happened last night.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
I'll play. I'll
We'll
play.
rip
what I wanna
snort.
play.
Make myself a drink real quick.
We'll rip snort into what?
Don't forget your intros.
Marco has left the building.
It's on there.
Commercials, man. Sounds like he's pilfering the kitchen. He's making a drink.
He's gonna make you a drink. Ooh.
Marco's home and Daddy's been drinking.
I said go to bed, goddammit.
Trying to report our podcast, my friends.
You guys ready? Where's Marco? Making his drink?
Making a drink.
I gotta make it was all that noise, and I just heard a can crack. Come back from the kitchen with.
We're gonna have to ask
He done
him
gave
right
up
now.
on making a drink, and was like mixing this shit, and the ice is all too hard. I'm just gonna go with old reliable here. Crack a cold one. I don't expect anything less. What you drinking?
What you do in the kitchen?
You don't really want to know.
Sounded like you made 4 or 5 different drinks.
I was wondering if you guys could hear that.
Oh,
We
yeah.
can hear the beating and the banging of the pot in the pan.
What was that, Vivaldi or like Beethoven? I wasn't sure what you were doing there with the percussion.
It should be illegal to drink what I just made.
Okay, did you also give up at some point and crack a beer?
What, Everclear on the
I'll,
rocks
fin-
or what?
I'll finish in this.
You did crack a beer. All right, good call me.
No, I'm finishing my old one.
Okay.
That's currently
Did
5
you open a
o'clock
can?
vodka and Diet Coke.
Adulting is terrible if you're a middle school teacher,
Look,
huh?
I didn't have anything else I could fucking mix with. I grabbed the first thing I found.
Which was 5 o'clock vodka or the Diet Coke?
No, Diet Coke.
Okay.
Love 5 o'clock vodka.
All right. Hey guys, the St. Louis Blues are Stanley Cup champions.
Not bad,
Let's
not
fucking
bad.
go.
Hit it.
It was a slaughter.
Baby.
Oh wow! All right,
Hoist that
edit point.
up, drink up. Street. Good morning. Good afternoon.
Nope. Start over.
It was so
Start that
bad.
whole thing over. It was so bad.
kidding
Oh,
me.
he's still
Oh,
good.
the
We
whole
threw that
thing.
intro in a blender.
The entire thing. As soon as you hit
I
the
hate
music,
it.
dude.
I hate it so much.
As soon as you hit the music.
As soon as the down
Damn
down
it.
baby hit, it was curtains.
The funny part was he was dancing to the robot voice, at least on my end, so he didn't know what was really going on.
This is my favorite thing to do every week. Is watch Matt struggle through this. Matt is the struggle bus.
I am literally.
Next week we're gonna watch him come live from like the.
You know what,
public library.
Tyler?
You
I
guys
can't-
know that
I
I've
can't
owned
wait
3
to
short
hear.
buses, right? I've owned 3 short buses.
It makes sense.
That is the
For the
least
rafting
surprising
company?
thing you've ever told me.
Okay, so for the rafting company, and there was a period of time where I had no personal transportation, and I had to drive this short bus around. Now, this particular short bus is one I got from a prison or sheriff's office, and so
You're
it
supposed
was
to be
like
saving us for the podcast.
primer gray with black like bumpers and trim and everything like that. So it
Oh,
blacked out windows. Basically, it was awesome. We called it the Warden.
favorite previous job.
We're just saying fuck it to the intro.
No,
No,
I can't.
no, I'm
we
just-
cannot say fuck it to the intro.
No.
Okay, stop. Cut out all the chatter. Just roll with the conversation, and then we'll cut an intro in later, and then throw it at the beginning. Can you do that, Tyler?
I can if we remember to at the end, like
Just
we
cut
were
it now.
supposed to.
All right. Well, write down that subject you just brought up, and also on the what were we just talking about? What was this, Tanner? The short bus thing,
Yeah.
right? That short bus, the gray one
Primer
that was
gray?
from the prison. Yeah, primer gray short bus. We called the Warden. The CD player on it got stuck, but not until after I went to a yard sale and got the Footloose soundtrack for 50 cents. And so the Footloose soundtrack was stuck in the CD player, and the radio wouldn't work after that either. So it was either Footloose or nothing, and we couldn't see what song it was on or anything. So we could only hit the button. So for an entire summer, everyone that we took rafting, a couple thousand people at least, right? Footloose or the Wind, your choice.
You couldn't save that until after we started recording.
That's a fucking tough decision. No.
Life comes at you quick, man. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
Go forth, Captain.
One more time. Hey, guys. The St. Louis Blues are Stanley Cup champions. Let's go, eh?
It was a slaughter.
Coming in hot. Hoist that cup. Chug a beer from it now. Let's go wherever you are, whoever you're with. Good morning, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. We are the Loudmouth Degenerates at the Loudmouth Pod across a whole bunch of different platforms, theloudmouthpod.com. I am Mushroom Matt at Shiitake Creek. Joining me tonight is the one and only Marco, or how do you spell that, Marco? At what?
Que pasa, primo? QUE
Let's go with that.
PASAPRIMO.
Tanner?
What's up? You want me to
What's your
talk about my
Twitter
Twitter?
handle, Doink?
It's at Vanilla Gorilla, and if you don't know how to spell,
Hi,
Vanilla,
Tanner. Welcome.
Don't follow me.
Tyler?
Throwing shade, asshole. Hey, Marco, why is it que pasa with the A and not the O?
I've been wanting to call him out on this.
Que
Feminine.
pasó means what happened. Past tense. Now what?
Wait, so Tyler just skipped his
Look at you
intro
with your big
to ask a
brain.
Spanish question? Is that what I just saw?
Evidently a
yes, he did.
rudimentary, elementary one, but it was necessary because I was like, que pasa? I was like, so she.
Que pasa
Marco-
is like what's up? Like what's happening?
but
But
you
que
just,
pasó is what happened. Past tense.
so in the last in the last 10 years, we just all of a sudden threw gender out the window like you were supposed to?
What?
Tyler, what's your Twitter handle for fuck's sake? Here's
Tyler
the lifeline.
Allen.
Swim to it. The Tyler Allen, Tyler in the Cave. If you're looking for a sound engineer, he's looking for a job. So just throwing that out there. Not that we don't want him to leave or anything like that, because he's just awful. You shouldn't hire him. He's perfect for us, not for you. But at the same time, I'm tired of seeing him do the sandwich life.
Sandwich life is hard. I don't want to do it anymore.
I don't blame you. Hey, you know what else is hard in life?
Wait, I don't want to hear you answer that question.
Let's try this again. You know what else is very difficult in life is when you go to get a job and you have to take a drug test. And apparently, if you live in Nevada, you no longer have to do that for marijuana. Is that right, Marco?
Correct. Starting in 2020 is illegal for a job or a company not to hire you because you failed marijuana on a drug test.
So you straight up smoke a joint in the parking lot, go in there, know you're going to piss dirty, and give no shits about it. That's pretty awesome. I wonder if behind closed doors they're like, because there's still a certain amount of discrimination that happens within the gray areas of the law. They don't have to, as long as they don't tell you they're discriminating against you, it's hard to prove it.
Well, see, the problem is going to be when they finally do figure out how to test you for how high you are. Because that's going to happen. I mean, it's inevitable. Just like you can tell how drunk you are by a BAC, all that.
But here's the faux pas, though. How? Because when you smoke it, the effect is immediately in your brain. When you eat it, the effect is essentially felt when the THC hits your liver. So how can they quantify that?
Did you just use the word faux pas as the faux pas?
That's all I took away from that, too.
Yeah,
Tyler.
I did.
Okay.
Tyler, you're a tech guy. 50 years ago, if somebody told you, hey, someday that you and a few buddies are going to be able to sit around and talk to each other on these little fancy things here, what would they have said? Technology, my friend. That's how. Someday, probably soon, they're going to figure out how to be able to tell how high you are. And you know what? I would like to know right now.
Yeah, I kind of want to know for bragging's sake, like my all-time score, But it's like a pocket breathalyzer. Who doesn't kind of want one just to see where you're at in the world, How many DUIs would that save if you had a little pocket breathalyzer to carry around and see how fucked up you are?
For anybody that's a fan of Joey Diaz, Uncle Joey, he used to take up to 2,000 milligrams of THC in edibles a day. I want to know what his Richter scale.
Yeah.
Take a lot and multiply it by a tremendous amount. Yeah,
Tanner.
It's like you're daring the world, like at that point, to be the first person to OD on marijuana.
How could we quantify that to alcohol?
Andre the Giant.
A 10 milligram, let's say a 10 milligram.
Andre the Giant, the way he would pound beers. That's
put
kind of
butt chugging 6-4 locos.
No. To put in perspective, like
I'm totally editing that.
A 10 milligram edible is comparable to an IPA. He was doing 2,000 milligrams. 200
IPAs.
Yeah.
If you don't butt chug those, it is doable if you spread it out over a long period of time.
Here's
in a day?
24 hours.
200?
Yeah, 10 beers an hour.
But to put it into perspective for the non-weed legal states, it's in Colorado, they usually serve you 100 milligrams a time.
Right.
And that's essentially 200 times that.
Yeah.
Well, your tolerance can get up there. You can train yourself like an Olympic athlete. Right? If you know it's not going to kill you, you can push it harder.
You want to redo that one?
Yeah, say athlete again from athlete.
Well, if you're like an Olympic athlete, you train yourself, you push hard. If you know it's not going to kill you, it definitely gives you encouragement that hey, nobody's ever OD'd from this. How far can I take it?
That's actually that's actually what they kind of did in the podcast. They actually, him and his co-host, built up their tolerance through the show, and we got to listen to it, and they got up to those 2,000 milligrams a day, and it was I mean, it was a long process. I think it took him
Yeah,
8
you
months to
don't
get
jump straight from A to B. I mean, but over time, I could definitely see it happen. Look at, I mean,
there.
your
You
average
will not
smoker.
die from it. You will probably sleep
Yeah.
for a really
Well,
long time.
You'd be surprised what you could live through. It can be very uncomfortable depending on how you embrace it. It's that room spin thing. Throw your hands up and scream "we," or sit there and go, "This sucks." Your choice.
Just be careful with edibles, is what we're saying.
Go
Andrew
for the
Dice
gold.
Clay ate a whole bag of popcorn. He said he slept for 19 straight hours.
Who doesn't need to catch up on sleep?
Right? Especially that man.
Certainly not Andrew Dice Clay. No.
Look, all I'm saying is if it doesn't kill you the first time, try it again just to make sure you did or did not like it, because you might be biased. Try everything 3 times. It doesn't kill you the first time.
Words to live by.
Yep. Well, or die. Your choice. Hey, speaking of dead things, people, etc., did you guys see the Bush Beans dog Duke died?
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Bro?
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
I
No
figured
more of that. So I didn't catch the specifics,
Damn.
but hopefully he sired a number of children and passed on the Bush Beans secret family recipe to one of them, because otherwise I predict a nationwide shortage of Bush Beans.
Very good beans.
Can we throw that in the ag report, Tanner?
Yeah, noted.
If-
I'll have to update the ag report.
if that's not in the end of the year highlight reel of who all died, I'd be severely disappointed.
Wow.
Yeah.
R.I.P. in peace, man. That's terrible.
Yeah, it's T's a piece for the family of
Bush's baked beans.
Bush Baked Beans dog Duke.
Jake, isn't it?
Duke,
Isn't it Jake?
Duke.
What are the
Dude.
chances they're going to use him as fertilizer?
Pretty good.
Uh-oh. Too
He's
soon?
worm food. Wait, is this? You ever see somebody that taxidermies their pet like after they die? Is that super fucking creepy to everyone else?
Disgusting.
Yeah,
Absolutely disgusting.
I'm
Yeah.
all on that.
I'm
I
all
had-
out on taxidermy.
You're a fucking monster.
I mean, there's
For the
I can
hunters,
see the
I
case
understand.
for taxidermy here and there, etc. I appreciate a well done piece. I prefer to see them in the wild. I like to eat stuff. But at the same
Start
time,
over.
I can't
Edit.
see. Look,
His head's
if
gonna
you're a
explode.
hunter or a fisherman and you want to project your memory of a lifetime, I get it, preserving that moment. But at the same time, dude, your cat is gone.
No, yeah,
All right.
like
Who the
See-
fuck? Hold on. You've seen a taxidermy cat? I want to hear this story.
no.
It's been
see,
a long time, but I've seen one before.
but
Shut
see,
the
I
fuck
can
up.
I can get behind like doing like a head of like a deer for like you bagging.
Oh, until you said deer. I was about to be totally off that. Fuck. I thought I was about to say like a head of your dog. Like just
But
cut
not
that
like
fucker off,
But
stuff
not
it.
like
hang it
a
up the wall.
full blown cat, dude.
Yeah, life
No.
size mount,
If
like sitting
if
there,
the
like
animal
it
shit
could-
in your house,
just
you can't
run.
taxidermy it. New law.
What if it's Boris?
That should be fucking federal law.
I don't think Boris should be.
No, I'm just
Uh,
messing with you. Look, did you see all those mothers that came after YP? Like, I'm gonna give your rat AIDS, or I hope he gets skinned, or whatever, right? Did you see his post after the Blues won the Stanley Cup? How do these chinchilla nuts taste, motherfuckers? I loved it. The greatest rat dance of all time. I can't believe what a ride for him, huh? That kid has earned every bit of this. He's been a diehard Blues fan through thick and thin. He never lost faith. Kudos to him, and kudos to Boris for the good luck, man. Thank you, Boris. I never
went
thought
through
I'd see this.
The first thing I did this morning, literally the first thing I did when I woke up, was went through YP's Twitter.
Oh yeah,
All those pictures, and he got to that before and after picture when he was on the ice with I don't know hockey, but he was on the ice with the guy when he was like a
everyone.
5-year-old kid, and then they had the same picture with him. All these years later was pretty awesome. Good for YP. Good for St. Louis. I don't watch hockey, but that was awesome. It was a slaughter, from what I understand.
And
look
also,
for the last. Go ahead,
and-
Tyler.
and also the year of the rigs continues. St. Louis wins. He's in Pebble Beach right now. I mean, like the man keeps winning.
It's a great
You're
thing
hot, you're
for the
hot.
Lou. That's for sure. Whenever Jordan Bennington started, they changed the coach midseason. If you guys don't know this, right? This
I heard
is
he
like
legally
right
changed his
around-
name to Winnington.
Yeah, he should.
Winning.
It's dude, straight fucking stud muffin.
Any update
I
on
want to
that?
bear his children, right? So basically, in January, right around the 1st, the 7th, something like that, Bennington, that we changed over coaches. Bennington started. I remember calling into the Sean Latham show, and I was talking to YP about it, and I was like, "This kid's got it." Blah blah blah. You know, if this is the last piece of the puzzle, we've seen him flounder so many times. And I waffle as a fan, so I might have said in between there after all, right? But
Start over.
YP never lost hope, and it's just been an amazing thing. Fuck me. Skip it. Not worth it.
All right.
Anyway, awesome for YP. Totally amazing thing for the city of St. Louis. Shout out to the Lou. One of my favorite places on earth.
City's a shit.
It's Cardinal season, baby. It's time to let that Redbird fly.
Did you guys see the video of like that pump up? It was a Blues fan. I think he must run like a blog or something, but he did like a pump up video before the game. Did you guys see that at all? Barstool retweeted it, and it took some traction on Twitter. But he was like, "We're from St. Louis. We live in a third world country. Let's go out there and
I saw that video. The one that KFC.
If you guys haven't seen that, I mean, the Loudmouth page should retweet that.
That guy is one of us.
I want that guy to like get a microphone before every Blues home game from now on, and just
address the crowd like William Wallace.
We live in a shithole. This place sucks in general, but you know what? Today we are united under hockey. I thought that was awesome. I hate St. Louis, but that made me really happy last night.
He was literally the William Wallace of St. Louis, like riding up and down, getting all the troops fired up for the impossible mission in front of him. It was just glorious. It felt like I was watching Rudy, but at the same time, not.
Tanner,
we're gonna go with that.
Tanner, you're a Cubs fan, correct?
I am.
So I noticed a hesitation there for you. Is it difficult for you cheering for a different St. Louis team because you're a Cubs fan, because you hate the Cardinals that much?
Yeah.
My hatred for St. Louis, the Cardinals is definitely a very big factor of it. But do you guys remember the greatest show on turf? Kurt Warner, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt.
Kurt Warner from Iowa.
I think it was. What year did the Patriots win their first Super Bowl? 2003. Well, in the second round of those playoffs, the Rams beat the Packers 45-17. And the only reason we scored those 2 touchdowns is because Leroy Butler returned 2 interceptions in the fourth quarter.
The Rams aren't even there anymore. Be mad at LA.
I hated St. Louis from that moment on, and I have been to that city.
You hate the Rams, bro.
Because the Cardinals also are the worst baseball organization.
We got to the
root of the
problem.
Hey, the Miami Marlins take exception.
No. Shut the fuck up, Tyler. Let's have it out with the Cubs.
It's the Yankees.
But I'll admit that, Marco. I hate the Cardinals. I've said it before on this podcast. I wouldn't piss on Busch Stadium if that place was on fire.
How do you feel about that?
I hate it. I hate St. Louis. But if you guys ever been to that city, it is a shithole. Trust me. We have Milwaukee. We claim that shithole. It's a terrible city in general. But St. Louis is like rural Ethiopia. The place is a third world country.
Absolutely nonsense.
Burn it down.
It's right up there with
First of all, St. Louis has its own style of barbecue. Don't even come at me there. Second, beer. Ever heard Budweiser, motherfucker?
Mason-Dixie to have your own version of barbecue.
That's not true at all. There's several north of it, actually.
Whatever.
Beyond that, we do have the Cardinals in a steep winning tradition that dates a very long time there. We don't have the Rams. They're in LA. Take that up with them. 5.
You guys weren't even good enough for the Rams.
The county of St. Louis is better than the city, in my opinion, the outskirts, but I'm just throwing that out there.
I couldn't blame the Rams for leaving that hellhole.
Easy. I would like to encourage any St. Louis Rams fans to come over to the Colts. I know that the word Hoosier in the St. Louis area actually means like white trash, but it's nothing to do with people from Indiana, supposedly. Or at least that's what they say to Hoosier people from Indiana's face. So just saying, you can do that. I personally not a fan of the Rams. Never
Who's
really
your
was.
daddy?
Especially when Marshall Faulk left the Colts and went to play for the Rams, I was just like, oh, that's it. For some reason, I don't know. In my adolescence, that made sense.
Shout out Marshall Faulk, amazing running back when he was on.
Yeah, that's true. We played this awesome game called Give Marshall the Football and watch everyone chase him like it was kindergarten football for a long time. It was great.
You know, while we're on football, because I'm not as into it as you guys are, but a sad story that I wish they would make into a 30-30 is one of the greatest running backs that never actually got a chance to shine was Tavian Banks. He was an Iowa Hawkeye. He went to school here in Bettendorf, Iowa. So he made it to I can't remember exactly which team it was, but it was a preseason game and he got a late hit and he tore his ACL and it blew everything out, and then he never got to actually play because he was just devastated after that, and his leg was trashed. But he was an amazing player. And it sucks because you see a lot of that shit on 30 for 30. Players that get those devastating injuries and never get to play again, and it sucks that even college players where they make all these millions of dollars off them, they don't get anything.
Didn't Tavian Banks get a shot in the league though, if I remember correctly?
No, he was in the league when he got his leg all jacked up. Yeah, I think it was Jacksonville maybe.
But yeah, he must have made a comeback though, because the Saints used to do their training camps in lacrosse.
Okay.
And I grew up right there, and I remember like seeing the ESPN crews come in when I think Tavian Banks came back to the Saints, and I don't know if he played much. I was pretty young at that time, but
yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was making quite a bit of news because he was making a comeback or whatever, and he was at the Saints training camp on lacrosse. But I've heard. I've looked him up before. He was one of the guys who we never did get to see rip it up.
Yeah, in high school he was this number one in the state, and then when he went to Iowa, he completely just dominated the whole Big Ten. I think he was, at the top of the list for the last 2 years he was there, and then it just sucks he never actually got really a chance to shine in the NFL. So, but that happens all the time, all the time.
Yeah, every day.
Imagine if Zion Williamson had actually blown out his anything his ankle when he whirled out. Imagine.
We're not trying to speak anything into existence here.
No, not at all. But what would that he would have lost every opportunity he had ever had, and then nobody gives a fuck anymore. He's just
It's a pretty famous podcast that was in a debate amongst themselves about Zion Williamson and Duke this year, and they made a joke oh, what if he gets hurt? And then he got hurt. Remember when his shoe blew out?
Yeah.
So I don't want anything to do with talking about Zion Williamson getting hurt. We don't need another Greg Oden situation.
That's what I'm saying. What if he actually had hurt his ankle that time, and it would have been career-ending? And then what happens? He doesn't make those millions of dollars. He doesn't have that guaranteed contract.
He hasn't done that yet. Nothing signed yet.
Okay, well, he's not playing anymore. So unless he falls down an escalator, oh fuck. All right, well, let's just hope that doesn't happen.
You made your bed, now lie in it.
I hope that if it does happen, you somehow become victimized by it for your mischievous intent.
Well, you guys are associated.
I am escalated by no means.
You guys are guilty by association, so I'm bringing you down with me.
No, I'm adamantly opposed to these shenanigans right now. Everybody get a broom.
And escalators aren't near me, cuz I'm out.
Marco, you take your bad vibes and bad luck elsewhere.
I was getting gas at the gas station the other day, and I was kind of in a hurry because it's Friday night and getting ready for the market or whatever. One of the last things I do for them to get ready is go put gas in the cars, right? And so I go up to the gas station, and I see the profile of a person who's dressed identical. So I pull up to the gas station, and I see the person in front of me at the pump, and his car looks really similar.
You have to start all the way over at where you got gas in both vehicles.
Fuck me. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So one of the last things I do for the markets to get ready for them is I go fill up both cars with gas, right? And so I cruise up to the gas station and I pull in, and right in front of me at the next pump is this person who looks identical from the profile of his face, the clothes he has on, including the shoes and the cuff on his pants, and the make model of his car ish to my other buddy. Now I'm kind of in a hurry, so don't really think about it a whole lot, right? Just kind of loosely process it as this is my homie. So I hop out of the truck, right? Stick the gas pump in and hit the buttons, make it all chirpy. And then as the fuel starts flowing, I turn and I was like, "What's up, dude?" Dude turns and his face squares up with me. Not my friend at all, right? Never seen this guy a day in my life. You guys ever been there? You know this scenario where you just look like a complete idiot? All right, it's cool. And so then to be slick, I'm sitting in my truck cracking up to myself because he probably feels more awkward about it than I do. But my awkward energy always bleeds over as just random giggling, right? So I'm sitting in the phone, running through it, and I'm like, I got to get a picture of this, right? And so I'm trying to take a picture, and he fucking busted me. And he's looking right at me, and I shrugged, and I snapped the photo.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, and then I hit the buttons on my phone, and I hit the voice text to talk, and this dude's really looking at me quizzically now. And I said, man, I so totally thought this was you, right? This guy is giving me the most intense stare down. Creepy. This guy can hear me the whole time, too, right? And so worst case scenario ever. And I tried to play it off as best as I could, but I probably could have done better. You guys ever been in this scenario?
So 2 months ago, I was literally in this position. I went out. I was pretty. It was a night of some local MMA fights, so I got pretty lit up. Like MMA is my favorite thing. Going to see them live is even better. I assume, like, I've never been to an NFL game. We'll get to that later, but I would assume it's the same kind of energy, you know, and the drinks are, you know, the tall cans, and you're paying $8-9 fucking dollars a piece. So I'm getting pretty toasted. And then I see this dude who looks an awful lot like this other dude that I know that I'm really cool with because I used to buy weed from him. So I roll up and I just like do the typical man, like we do he sticks his hand, I stick my hand out, he sticks his hand out, and I just wrap his ass up and like we kind of have hugged. I was like, "What's up, man? I haven't seen you in a while, you know, whatever." And then I think it like some part drunk of me might have been like, "That's not that dude." So I was like, "All right, man. Well, I'll catch you later." And then I just kind of like awkwardly walked away. The next fucking day. Oh, this was the night before WrestleMania. So the day of WrestleMania, I'm at this other bar, and then this motherfucker walks in, but I'm sober. And I'm like, I have to do the walk of shame towards him. I was like, "Hey, man, pretty sure I fucking hugged you last night, and we don't know each other." He goes, "Yeah, that was pretty awkward." I'm like, "You look just like my other buddy." And he actually knows the guy I was talking about. I was like, "So that's not the first time it's ever happened?" He goes, "No, man, that shit happens all the time." And then we had a beer and we were cool.
That's awesome.
It was awkward as fuck.
Tanner, you ever been there?
Yeah, a couple times. But the one that stood out to me is in college. There were twin girls they always ran in the same circle as us. They were in the college.
Talking about girls or calves?
They did it too.
No, girls, female human beings. Well, they were whatever identical twins, but they didn't really get along. One was a horse chick, and if in my circle of the world, horse chicks are crazy. I won't even apologize for it.
Hairdressers and horse chicks.
And then the other one was a dairy girl, and I'm all about that. So obviously we were better friends.
We know how you feel about titties.
Well, the two bars in River Falls that all the ag kids hang out with are Mel's and Johnny's. Shout out my two favorite taverns. Paid the mortgage there for a couple years. And I was on one. I don't know. It was probably my super senior victory lap semester, and I was walking into Mel's and I saw who what I'll call the good twin, or I thought was the good twin, and I walked up behind her and I put my arm around her. I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" You know,
it was the other one.
I always ordered shots. the shots were called fucking awesomes. I'm like, 2 fucking awesomes for me, and I looked. I'm like, ooh, cancel the shots, and I just about face and walked out of the bar because I was not about to buy the evil twin a shot, and that was awkward as fuck. Yeah, that's my story, I guess.
Awkward moments with Tanner.
So whenever I was dating my ex, there was a girl who got hired at the rafting company who looked like her from behind, kind of. And for whatever reason, I was in the kitchen taking care of like the dishes after a trip, and I walked up thinking it was my girlfriend. Put my hands right on her hips, right from behind, and you imagine her surprise and mine whenever she turned around.
Hold
Very,
on, you
very
couldn't
awkward.
tell
One of the worst feelings of my
your
life.
girlfriend's ass in a
Nope.
fucking lineup? How
They
dare
looked
you?
identical.
I have something at the inverse.
I get it.
I was with a couple of my friends, and there was there were 2 of them were romantically involved, but I walked up to them late. I was coming home from work, and the lady in the relationship just slowly like made her hand up and down, like up to my crotch. And when she made it up to my crotch, she realized it wasn't her significant other.
That's some shit you see in movies.
Yeah.
I'd have grabbed her hand and be like, "You owe me dinner." Right? Wherever
Might
this
as well.
goes
And
from here on out, you owe me dinner.
But it was hilarious because she just slowly made her hand up, and when she just totally grabbed my package, she realized this is a total stranger's package, and looked up at me, and we just started laughing.
So, did she finish?
No, of course not. I didn't give her the invite to. She wasn't of my suasion, if that
So,
makes any sense.
so it's your fault.
Not my fault. It was her
Every
fault.
every woman's Connie Chung when the lights go out. First of all, so
Thank you for taking the
tight-
words out of my mouth, because I was going to say that next.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that reference means.
No, me neither. I had no idea.
You guys don't know who Connie Chung is?
Yeah,
Not
but I
a
don't
clue.
understand the reference.
Margaret Thatcher. You guys know who Margaret
Yeah.
Thatcher is? All right, every woman's
Heard
Margaret
of-
Thatcher.
Heard
when
of
the lights
Margaret
go out.
Thatcher.
Okay, let's go with
Farrah
Hillary
Fawcett?
Clinton.
No,
Yeah,
don't
no.
do that.
Man, Hillary Clinton's really jumping off on the top of my tongue. I can't think of anyone else comparable. No, that's national
Are you
hero. We can't
naming
go there.
ugly old white women?
Yeah, basically.
Angela Merkel.
Well, Connie Chung's not white. You racist bastard.
Well, that's why I'm asking questions. I don't know.
Yeah,
So
just
you just assume-
someone you
just
generally
assume-
would not look at as a sexual idol, right?
Angela Merkel, the British Prime Minister lady that's resigning.
Yeah.
Theresa May.
Hey, how about
Rosie O'Donnell.
Hey, what was that? What's that one
Whatever you
president?
want.
Hey, no, hold on. This is real shit. Who's that one president from like one of those Russian countries that's super hot?
I have no idea.
We played against them in like the soccer something.
I thought you were gonna say World War. I got to be dead honest. When you said played against him, I was waiting for you to say World
somebody,
War II or
somebody look
something
this
like
shit up
that.
for me.
President of Denmark, I think.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, like she's super hot.
I'm gonna Google hot woman president.
Yeah, there you go.
Denmark is not the Dutch.
No,
right?
I
That's
think
Holland.
No, that's Holland.
Okay.
That's Holland, yeah.
Because there's so many finger
Croatian.
knife issues.
Yeah, there we
Croatian
go. There we go. There we go. There we go.
Holy moly!
I told you. Did you see the swimsuit photo of her?
Yeah, Kolinda Grabar Kratonovic.
Look that shit up.
Holy moly!
Yep. She's a banger.
Really? You're going
I
with the
see why
grumpy
she
old
got
men
elected.
reaction?
That's a normal.
Holy crap!
Tanner
See?
reaction. Holy mackerel!
See how she got elected? Really? What
She
are her
definitely
views?
got the popular vote. That's for sure.
Her policies are phenomenal.
Even
I
better.
think she leans
I've seen both her.
forward.
I've seen both her policies.
You want to till her land, don't you, Tanner?
I really thought you meant her actual policies for a minute. I'm
No,
very
I didn't just
I'm
like
adult.
summarize the Croatian
No.
president's policies. I can't translate. You
And
want to try reading this Croatian shit? I can't.
No, I don't speak cuneiform.
And for any social justice warriors out there that are saying we're being sexist, just go look at the picture. If you don't agree, then I mean disagree with us. But she's hot.
Hey, you can call my president ugly all you want. See if I care.
There you go.
I ain't touching any of that shit with the 10-foot stick. Mama always said stay out of politics. There's a place and a time, and this ain't it, cuzzos. So let's skip forward to summertime. Hey, what's your favorite kind of cooler? You're lugging around a cooler that's this time of year. I'm thinking about picking up a new one. What you guys got laying around? What you like? What you using? Where you at?
What are we doing? What's that? What's the activity?
Just take me day-to-day life. 4th of July, camping, whatever.
All right, if I'm going camping, I won a Yeti on a raffle. I'm going to use that because I can keep food cold for a long time. I don't really give a shit because beer doesn't last long enough in a Yeti to make it worthwhile. But if I am floating a river, which is the most important use of a cooler, I am getting a $4 gas station styrofoam, and I'm going to wrap it in black duct tape. And then the first thing I'm going to do is take 2 little pieces of twine that on the lid that hold it on there, and I'm going to double knot it so they don't come ripping through, because those bastards never do. And that is a very, very important cooler in my life.
Okay.
Why don't you just get the Bobby cooler, like where it just bobs up and down on top of the water?
$4 styrofoam cooler.
Also good for making napalm to get rid of wasps. Later on.
Explain the twine thing again. How do you make the twine thing happen?
Tie double knot. They only tie one shitty little knot that's not sufficient.
And not near the 2 holes either.
Yep. Tyler, what kind of coolers are you lugging around?
I have a like I said earlier, I have it literally looks like a fishing bobber. It's like circular, but it's divided in half, and you just can slide it around and have your beer right there. And it's pretty big. Fits like a 12-pack easily. So that's what I'm going with.
There you go. Marco?
We got this, the roofing thing. We get, gifts from wholesalers and shit. And they sent a cooler. It's not a Yeti, but it's got the handles that you can strap to the lid to hold it down tight.
Yeah.
It, like I said, it's not a Yeti, but it's something like that. And I have to figure out what the name of it, but those any cooler like that can literally hold the lid down. I feel like obviously they work the best because it's going to have good insulation also. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a Yeti. I feel like that's more about the name than anything. But if you can find some of those coolers that are well insulated, and the most important thing is, like Tanner said earlier, a Yeti is not good for beer because you're opening, closing. Yeah. But any cooler, any cooler that can hold the lid down and keep the coldness inside there, I mean, that's the best way to go.
So I used to do multiple day rafting trips, and then also I led Conservation Corps out in the desert where we were out 12 days at a time with that, and then rafting trips anywhere from 3 to 5 to 10-day trips, etc., even up to 15 and a couple of times 30-day trips. And so when you resupply on those longer trips, you really do need a cooler that is capable of that performance. And Yeti, in my opinion, is it. When it comes to that scenario where you're really just like in and out of there only once or twice a day, you try not to have it open any more than you possibly have to. And it can be the difference between, lukewarm beer at day 10 versus ice cold beer at day 5 only, And and so we have multiple coolers. Whenever I own the rafting company, they're all gone now. So I've got a nice little collection going. I actually just picked up a triple wide glass front, like a Coca-Cola cooler from the local liquor store. They bought a new one. So I got that one on the sly for pretty cheap. And I've been needing one for a while. So it's pretty awesome for the mushroom company. And that means I get my beer fridge back, by the way, which I'm fucking stoked about. So whenever I haul a cooler around, it's usually either a big ass cooler if it's for like camping or whatever, or generally I've got one with wheels. You guys know the suitcase one?
Good move.
I used
Oh,
to
yeah.
have one.
That
I
doubles
miss
as
it
a
dearly.
seat. You know, throw a pad on top of there, and boom, you're set up and ready to go anywhere you go. I like those a lot. Also, a pro tip: you take the lid off of that. One of those little, I call them party kegs, but like the micro brews come in it. You know, it's not a half barrel or whatever. It's like a quarter barrel. You know what I'm talking
Oh
about,
yeah, the
Tanner?
pony keg. Yeah, used to use
Yeah,
those in
yeah.
college.
All right, so those fit perfectly inside of there with plenty of ice and room for cups.
Oh, there you go. That's pretty ingenious.
I think it's like a 50 quart maybe. Yeah. And so you can literally haul one of those around. It's awesome at festivals. Everybody will give you ice if you hang out with them with a keg, especially if it's good beer, you know?
That's the
Absolutely.
benefit of it, of bringing a cooler to those things. It's just like you can barter and trade for quite the smorgasbord.
Yep. Anything on wheels, easier to haul around.
Is anybody paying attention to the NBA Finals right now?
I was
am
hoping
watching it as
somebody
we
was going to give
speak.
us some feed. How long? All right, where are we at in the game?
2:49 left in the fourth.
No, you're
What's the score?
behind.
Oh, I'm just going off the app. Sorry. Go
You're-
ahead,
Go ahead,
Tyler. You
Tyler.
must be more current.
2:15 left. 106-102. Toronto leads.
Yep. So the big story, and that'll be talked about for a long time. Klay Thompson, who's one of the last remaining stars on the Warriors, obviously besides Steph and Draymond and Iggy and Boogie Cousins. He injured his knee at the end of the third, but
Mhm.
he was like halfway down the tunnel to the locker room. They were showing him walking out, and then somebody came running in and was like, "Dude, you gotta shoot free throws." So his hobbly ass did an about face, starts marching back out. It took forever. Got to the line. I think he made one, but it was a total gut check time, and that was pretty cool, Klay Thompson. I think that speaks volumes of who he is as a player.
Nice.
But I hope the Raptors win. But if I may, and I don't mean to be the rant guy, but I feel like I'm slowly becoming him. All playoff long and all series long, Toronto has been wearing these jerseys that says "We the North, We the North." Motherfucker, Toronto is farther south than 17 U.S. states, and Canada as a country is farther south than 27 U.S. states. What is so north about them? They have a milder winter than we do, Matt. You're well above Toronto, and I'm above
know.
Toronto a few minutes. It pisses me off that they call themselves "We the North." Just because
Oh.
you're in Canada doesn't mean you are the North. Get over yourselves.
People don't realize that when you look at a map that you don't get the curvature of the Earth aspect into
Right.
play. And then also in the Lake Superior Basin, you're going to have a warmer, you know what microclimates are, right, Tanner?
Yeah.
109, 105,
Lake
90
Superior
seconds.
Basin. Well, they're on the north, the south facing slope or the north side of the lake, so it's going to be warmer there than.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
my weather comment was really just me bitching, but all I'm saying is this whole "We the North" mentality. Like, who
Yeah.
are you guys to say "We the North" when you're probably farther south than 8 off the top of my head, 6 to 8 NBA teams? Get over yourselves, you fucking Canadians. I want them to win just because I would rather see a team from the East win, but good Lord, I'm getting sick of that arrogant Toronto attitude. If anyone's ever been to that city, it's not all that great.
It's
like
so
New York
polluted with smug, huh?
it's
You can't
Toronto.
breathe. It's just everywhere.
It's New York without the stuff. It's just buildings and buildings and buildings.
New York City.
How many more cities are you going to burn down tonight, Tanner?
You're like Godzilla on a fucking
Give me a-
rampage.
Give me a reason to talk about them, and I'll fucking rip them down.
It's a 3-point game. Toronto leads with about a
I want
minute.
to travel
It's
the
a
world, but I
4-point game,
want to.
sir.
3-point.
I got 109, 105.
It's 109, 106 with now a minute left.
Oh, there it
Yeah,
goes.
Tyler's watching like a live stream from the actual arena or something. He's always ahead of us.
It's live TV.
He made Ronnie look silly the other night. That was hilarious. Ronnie's watching the game and Tyler's celebrating beforehand with his volume off, so Ronnie didn't know if they won or lost.
It's now a 1-point game, 42 seconds left.
Have you considered being a play-by-play announcer, Tyler?
I thought about it.
That'd be cool. Tyler from the cave, Tyler from the stands.
Toronto takes a timeout with 37 seconds left, still a 1-point game.
Who you rooting for, Tyler?
Toronto, I hate Golden State.
I used to really like Golden State, but then they went out and got Durant. I was totally against that.
Same. They made
Good for Durant for getting his rings, though. I mean, I have them all about player capitalism, but at the same time, I thought that was bullshit to walk out on Oklahoma City.
And I hope he stays with Golden State for his option year. I mean, that's cool, $31 million that he just gets for sitting around.
Will he get paid even with the bum leg?
Allegedly, with the option, it's completely up to him. Is what I've
hell
read.
yeah! I hope he does take that then.
Yeah. So that
would force out at least Clay, wouldn't it? If Kevin Durant.
I think so, but it's now kind of a question to see how long Klay Thompson will be out, if he'll make it to opening day next year.
Right. And you got to assume Boogie's gone after this year.
I hope so. He's way better. I think they can build a team around him. Somebody can.
Sure.
He don't need to work hard, but it's clear he wants to work hard for somebody. You know.
Marco, our Mexican guys that are born and raised in Iowa or grew up in Iowa, are they fans of the NBA? Do you know much about the NBA?
I watched the NBA in the late 80s, early 90s, the Jordan era.
Yeah, I was going to say the Bulls era.
But my favorite player of all time is Reggie Miller.
Let's go.
Oh, I'm done with that.
Let's go, Reggie Miller. Fuck the Knicks.
He's the greatest troll of all time.
I love Reggie Miller.
Gotta hold on to the ball, Toronto. Come on.
I'm a Pacers fan. I don't think that I really have to enumerate that. I'm from Indiana. I love basketball. Indiana University basketball. I don't discriminate against Indiana teams. The University of Evansville, the Indiana State Sycamores, Baylor.
Notre Dame.
Yeah, I love Notre Dame, especially in college football. Yeah.
Really?
I believe it's pronounced Notre Dame.
I don't jive well with Purdue fans because they have to be one or the other or whatever. It's just like, all right, well, I don't pick you.
That's one thing I
don't like Purdue because they're dairy judging teams, a bunch of cheaters.
That's one thing I wanted to ask those Indiana.
Another reason for me to hate them.
It seems like you mentioned Purdue. It's like oil and water.
So I have a question for you guys.
They have an amazing agriculture school and a great engineering department. Purdue is a very prestigious university and a wonderful place to get an education. That being said, Boilermaker fans a little bit jerky sometimes.
Speaking of which,
go ahead, Marco.
Speaking of which, this is my question. I'll ask this question. I'll answer it at the end after you guys are done. What's the most uncomfortable or intense sporting situation you've ever been in collegiately?
Collegiately?
Yes,
like when I was at college?
Going to watch a game. Like, what's the most,
as a fan or what does the collegiate thing have to do with anything? That's
like a college game, like going to a college game.
Whenever I was in college, because that's the only I guess. Well, all right, or anytime.
Have you ever gone to watch a college game outside of you being in college?
Yeah,
I have.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about then.
Yeah, but I didn't have any. I mean, when you're in college and you go to watch college games, there's shenanigans at play.
Yeah, like I played in Band, motherfucker. Like I've had some close calls.
Let me explain my situation. So,
I can't wait to hear this episode.
Oh, Tyler.
Shit, Marco says.
I can't remember what year it was. I'm gonna go with about.
That's the marijuana.
Go with about 10 years ago. I should have done a little bit of research. But we, the Iowa Hawkeyes had a wide receiver named Marvin McNutt.
Here we go with the Iowa shit. Are you getting paid by the university?
Marvin McNutt. That's a made-up name.
I do. I respect the last name game.
So
I'm not Google searching McNutt.
Marvin McNutt. Look it up.
At least willingly.
Do you think he peed 2 M's in the snow and was like, Marvin was here? Not Marvin Washington either.
All right. Anyways, you were hanging out with Marvin.
No,
Hold on. Hey, pause. 110, 111, Toronto lead, 18 and a half seconds. Go ahead with your story, Marco.
Let's go.
So me and a bunch of my buddies had made. So McNutt was a receiver.
Let's go.
Calm down.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Marco.
Good. Okay.
Just the fans in the stands.
Just fans in the stands. So
Nothing
me and my
to worry
buddies
about
had some
here.
shirts made, and we got some Hawkeye shirts made on the back. We had "You've Been McNutted" on.
Stop it.
I swear to God, I have pictures of this shirt. It says
There's British Will with that Scottish accent when
You've been McNutted on. So there was, I can't remember what year it was, but we played at East Lansing. We were playing against Michigan State, and me and one other buddy went. It was a rainy ass night, and we ended up in the middle of Michigan State Spartan territory. But we were there the night that Iowa came back, and we won with like 2 seconds left on the goal line. And it was Marvin McNutt that actually caught the touchdown. And so me and my boy had to hightail it the fuck out of there. And we actually
before you got your McNutt stomp.
Yeah, it was a very bad situation to be
Tyler, your face says a lot right now. What's going on?
They're reviewing it out to make sure that it is indeed Golden State's ball, and it looks like it's Golden State's ball with like 1 point and 18 and a half seconds left.
Let's go Warriors. Let's go Warriors. Just saying. You can hear them from here.
But I've had several uncomfortable situations in high school. We were at State Kearney was against Omaha Central, and if you're familiar with Central and North Omaha, there are gang affiliations that allegedly tie into both schools.
Nebraska gangsters. I love it.
I know,
Born
right?
Warriors.
Come on. No, fuck.
Yes.
Sorry. But I was saying I was in pep band, and I was saying some pretty incredibly rude shit, and it apparently got to the point where the game had ended, and I had 2 Lincoln police officers give me an escort out of the building because they feared
for talking shit.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Were you wielding a tuba while you were doing it?
I was wielding a trombone.
Was it rusty?
No.
Okay, legitimate question. I had to ask.
All my trombones work.
like a rusty trombone.
Yeah.
I even have
Marco.
I even have a plastic one.
I don't know where to go from there. You band geeks are freaks.
Yes, sir.
I always thought that conversation would happen with a female. Never thought it would happen with a dude.
My wife can be here. She's equally.
She's
creepy.
band geek.
Yep, saxophone
Right
player.
on. Hey, speaking of creepy, did you guys notice that something's gone?
Oh, Ronnie isn't here yet.
Yeah, that's true. What else is missing from the equation?
Oh, you talking about that caterpillar that was taking residence on your suck hole?
Did you send it Jason's way?
There's if you look in our chat, there's one of the shirts that we had made up.
That's egregious.
Why'd you get rid of the stash?
It was just
Caterpillar.
time, dude. I work with the public. I feel like it might have been affecting sales and
Maybe it's the
to
creepy
invest in
robot
long-term.
voice.
And,
It's the creepy robot voice.
Yeah, so I work with the public. So it may have affected sales. I'm not for sure.
In
And
what
I'm not willing to
demographic? 'Cause
invest.
just last week you were bragging
Well-
about how older women were sniffing all over you.
Yeah, I mean, it goes. There's a two-way street there. Apparently, it made me look so much like not myself that people were like, "Oh, I didn't even know that you were here last week." Oh, it's because of the stash. So it's
Stash
whatever.
stole your identity.
Yeah, I'm not. I just don't feel like I'm willing to go full stash right now. Right, I'm not willing to commit. When the winter comes, we'll deal with the stash again, and maybe I'll just save it for the train. It's kind of like a vest, really. Mustache is like the vest of facial hair, right? You wear it in the late spring, early summer, somewhere in there. There's a season, and then again in the autumn, there's a window where the vest is appropriate, right? I feel like mustache fits in that same scheme, really. It's like a cover
So it's a
crop.
2-point.
What's up?
So it's a 2-point game, 0.9 seconds. Oh, sweet. That's it. Toronto be champions, yo.
Good for you.
That's
Good
it.
for you.
Toronto be champions, yo. Put it on a t-shirt.
Put on a shirt. Yeah.
Oh my
Good for you,
god.
Tyler.
Toronto be champions, yo.
Down goes Golden State. Oh, don't you be reviewing shit, refs. Come on.
Review it.
I'm just waiting
Golden
for
State gets the
Draymond
ball
Green
back.
to freak out and go
Miraculous.
postal on everybody.
Story. Here we go. One more game.
He throws it in, makes contact, starts the clock. Yeah.
McNutt all in the
Down
What's
goes
going on,
Golden
Tyler?
State. Down goes Golden State.
The
All right.
dynasty's got to be over, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we'll never see what Golden State put together ever again.
They inbounded it to Kawhi Leonard for the last 0.9 seconds, and he alley-ooped it in. So,
Beautiful.
game, set, and fucking series.
Way to go, Canada. Thanks for fucking up everything.
Yeah, that's right, Serge.
Although they
Start
did
crying.
they invented poutine, so respect.
Yeah, whatever. They're a bunch of syrup sipping moose fuckers.
Wow.
You know what? I like Canada. Just fuck Toronto.
Do you know that
Come
you're
on.
supposed to be shivering while you sing the Canadian national anthem? Next time your teeth are chattering, try it. See if it doesn't make perfect sense when you hear it out loud. True story. It works. Hey, speaking of Canadians, the bears are awake around here and creating all kinds of havoc. Did you guys see the picture of the bear like 10 feet from the fucking car I sent?
Yeah.
That was not a small bear either.
No, it wasn't. It was probably 350 or better.
I saw one on the way home tonight. I mean, pretty little, but
Yeah,
they're getting antsy.
there's a big old mama sow around here. I bet she's 450 or more, right? She just looks like a giant ball of fucking fluffy muscle mass fat, you know. And so anyway, I feel like this is one of her cubs from last year or the year before, but
Matt, robot.
beehive, you know. I'm constantly, and of course my kids. Well, I'm worried about my beehive and my kids because there's a goddamn bear around. I'm probably gonna have to shoot it in the fucking face. And I don't
Jeez.
want to.
Why?
Just get out the paintball gun.
Well, no, last year, all right. So whenever I was a produce farmer,
No shit, there
I
I
would
was.
constantly have crop damage, right? No shit, there I was. I would constantly have crop damage from bears, right? And so I would keep a watchful eye. And I had two dogs, a German Shepherd and my Mastiff, right? My English Mastiff, who's a runt. He's only 125 pounds. We call him a teacup, right? So I caught the bear in the garden. I knew that the German Shepherd was batshit crazy and would chase him until she died. So I left her inside, right? And I took the Mastiff. Now I took a way around so the bear didn't see us coming because he was eating all my sweet corn. And I slipped through the greenhouses. And when we came out the other side, I thought we were going to be 30, 40 feet away. We were only 10 feet away from him. At which point my Mastiff realized what was going on. And you guys probably figure out what happens next whenever a Mastiff and a bear meet, right? Well, the bear was not afraid whatsoever. He stood up and then went down on his legs like he was going to come at the Mastiff. I popped off around in the air and this bear ran away. And I feel like it's the same bear, right? Because I've dealt with this bear in the last couple of years. And every year he's got more brazen and more brazen. And I don't know what's going to happen because my dog's getting old. And once my dog's gone, you know, then what?
No shit, there I was.
Yeah. I got a bear that's a menace. He's probably going to tear up my beehive.
You know what? I can back you on this story. No shit, there I was when I was a kid. I'm the oldest of 4 kids. I was probably 13 at the time. My younger brother would have been 10. We went up to Minnesota. There was this lake that we could go to get a cabin. My dad would take his boat so we could go. And there was another family that we would go up there with. Well, they had this lodge. And, after like 5 o'clock at night, the people that ran the lodge would go off to their own cabins and all that shit. So me being the little fucking criminal that I was trying to be, we would go up to the lodge and we'd play pool for free, and we would steal snacks and shit. Well,
Blame it on the bear.
as we were backing out the back door to sneak out of the lodge, we were creeping up on this tractor because we were trying to lay low,
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden, we see this little cub out in front of us, probably about 20 yards out, and then we were walking, so I grabbed my brother without saying anything. I just grabbed him by the shoulder and I lower him down, and I just like showed him the whisper sign. And then if you see a cub, your mama's around somewhere. And sure enough, mama comes strolling out of the woods, and then I just waited. I sat there quietly. She got the cub. They got the fuck back in those woods, and me and my brother got the fuck out of there.
So whenever I lived in Tennessee, bears would get in the dumpster at the campground, one of the rafting companies I would work for all the time. But raccoons were usually the bandits, right? And so one night I had a big black, like 5-gallon bucket of black walnuts piled up by my door. And when the raccoons would get in there, I would just throw a whole bunch of walnuts at the dumpster, make a bunch of noise, scare them away. And it would get my buddy's dog up, and he would go chase him and shit. And boom, go back to bed, right? Well, I went out there one night. It was raining. I heard the dumpster going. I started throwing his walnuts instead of like the dumpster. And so I walk out the door because I hear a bunch of noise, and I start throwing these walnuts at what I think is a dumpster, and all I hear is thud, right? Over and over and over. And I'm just like, man, should totally sound like, it hitting the fucking dumpster. And then I hear, and I realized that 25 feet away from me in the pitch black, I'm throwing walnuts at a fucking bear. And all I have is these 2x4 walls to prevent this bear from eating me. So I just retreat. I don't even play around at this point. Just straight up retreat.
How many walnuts could Matt chuck at a bear?
About 5 before I realized that it was making a thud noise instead of hitting the dumpster. Too many. So that's for sure.
So speaking of Cubs, hey Tanner, why are your Cubs down 6-3 against the Dodgers right now?
They're losing like the best or second best team in the National League. There's 162 games this season, Tyler. Occasionally, the good teams will lose to good teams.
I also thought the Cubbies were the best in our division.
They're not. They're second in the Central. I think the Brewers are half game up on them.
Mm-hmm. Cards holding right back there, though.
They're below 500. They're a mediocre team at best.
They're right there on the bubble. Anything could happen. There's a lot of baseball left.
Anything can happen. The Cardinals are not out of it until the playoffs start. I will give you that, because there's not a more annoying team at the end of the season than the goddamn Cardinals.
They're not what?
Building.
They're not
building.
Tanner with a remix.
Say it, Tanner. They're not what?
They're not. I don't know. Where did I go?
Out. Do it.
Oh, fuck off. I didn't say it like that.
Do it. Yes, he did. Do it. Do it.
Out.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did. Say it the right way, you motherfucker.
Out. That's how I say it.
They're not out till they're out.
Don't you be trying to pick on me about a Canadian accent on tonight.
There it is. I just got you to say about.
He's not safe. He's out, eh?
What are you talking about?
One of these days, I'm going to have Matt go full Indiana Hoosier accent, and I'm going to do a podcast in a full Canadian, Northern Minnesotan, Northern accent, and you guys aren't even going to be able to.
Bro,
you'll be pissing yourselves laughing.
You already do.
I do not.
Dude, you guys,
you know what I'm talking about. The Evansville area has a strong Southern accent.
Oh yeah, Matt. It comes out from Matt once in a while.
Especially whenever I drink. It's hard. Eat a dick, Marco.
Does
you know what I'm talking about.
What does it do? What?
It comes out, eh? Trample off, hosers.
It's just so fucking natural with Tanner. It's so awesome. It's so awesome.
Yeah, you guys speak Northernese together, and you guys just don't realize
So,
it.
fun little
And
story.
It's hilarious every time.
My friends from Appleton, Wisconsin, went to Asheville, North Carolina, and I joined them and served basically as an interpreter for the entire time we went south of the Donna Dixon line.
Speaking what is that? Woodrow and Thibodeau.
Yeah. I speak both languages, country and western.
So
I see why you're losing. You're going up against Kershaw. Okay, that makes sense.
Back in college, I got to do a little traveling and meeting some guys from the fraternity all around the country, and I found myself in Kansas City, Missouri, I think. And I walk in, we're all in a hotel, and we're all ripping and roaring, having a good time, meeting each other. And I walk into this room, and there's a whole bunch of guys from Mississippi State University. And
Mississippi.
They're loud and boisterous, and they're like, "Hey, where are y'all from?" I said, "I'm from Wisconsin." "How about you?" And I knew right where they were from just listening to them. But we're all from Mississippi State. We never seen a boy from Wisconsin before. And I was like, "Yeah, well, here I am. Nothing special." And we had a few beers, and after a while, these guys are like, "Y'all talk like they do in the movies." I'm like, "Yeah, correctly? What are you talking about?"
Did you say?
Like, no. Y'all talk funny. Can barely understand y'all. Like, what do you mean you can barely understand? I mean, you guys need freaking subtitles. And then they're like, no. That's them boys down in the swamp, down in the bayou, which I couldn't argue with them. They do. But they're like, y'all talk funny. I'm like, what do I say funny? And I was wearing a white shirt. And they're like, what color is that shirt y'all wearing? I'm like, white. They're like, no, that's white. I'm like, no, it's white. They're like, no, you're saying it wrong. That's white. That's a white shirt. And ever since then, I was just convinced I speak correctly, and those guys are fucking inbred.
I've been there.
I know people that pronounce white,
whiskey.
Cool.
You do not.
I swear to God, the guy that used to cut vinyl for me, he literally says white.
Unironically?
No, like literally, that's just the way he pronounces it.
That's fun.
Look, I can't say Cool Whip without. I can't say it anymore the other way.
Cool Whip. Cool Whip.
Whiskey.
Cool Whip.
You know, why are you saying it like that?
Family Guy, bro.
What about Warsh?
Fuck
oil.
I say
oil.
Well, when I was in Kansas City this past week, it was
look at Kansas City
my wife
tonight.
and my mother-in-law got in a huge debate, and hers was like, "Whoosh! No, you say it wrong.
It's
Wash.
washing machine.
You do not say it like that,
There's
man.
worse and there's worse.
Oh no! You say it like that?
No, but I fairly traveled.
I mean, R in any of those words.
Yeah, what about draw? Like drawing on paper? Do you ever hear people say draw?
Jar.
We had a teacher from
say crayon.
Pennsylvania in high school, and she'd say drawing.
Drawing. There's an L.
Oh,
I can't say
there's also a drawing, which is a northeastern thing where there's an R at the end. Drawing. Yep. Then there's a drawing, as in there's an L at the end as well. So two different phenomenons, two different regions for whatever it's worth. Washington, not among them.
I can't say rear wheel. Ooh, there, I did it there.
You just said it.
Yeah. It's fucking heel Marco over here with, I can't say this.
Only takes like one whole blunt and like a few vodka drinks. And
you're like one of those guys that can only sing opera when he's 4 beers in.
There we go.
There you go. That I would actually pay to watch. Fat Guy Karaoke would never be the same. Look,
fat guy,
speaking of fat guy ways, I had a rained out fucking soggy ass farmer's market, which usually means that I don't make much money. Pray to God I don't lose a tent. And I get to walk around and check out the new food trucks. Right?
Oh,
so,
we saw those damn pictures in your fucking coleslaw.
So I went with an assortment of food items. One of my favorite ones is a meats vendor, like the local farm raised meats, all that stuff, and they specialize in different kinds of brats. And every week they bring another, like a new one that they grill or whatever right there. This week it was a Philly steak and cheese brat, and we've worked with them to supply mushrooms for their mushroom and Swiss brat before, so I know that they use good products. But anyway, it was phenomenal. They did this like red cabbage relish thing that was pretty killer. I'd like to see that on more brats, etc.
Motherfucker, what was the dessert you plowed half of?
Ethiopian, of course, because of the seasoning. That was a Danish Kringle. And I ate the whole thing. Don't tell anybody. That was a Danish Kringle. It's fucking old world pastry. It's amazing. That was a caramel nut one. Those things, I call them crack because that's what they are. It's like a little fucking crack dessert. I bought 2 of them. I was gonna send one to Sean, one to Large. Now I have to wait till next week anyway because I'm waiting on some mushrooms to come in. But yeah. Now I was like, fuck. Now I fucked up and ate one, and then I went back and she didn't have another one, which figures just my luck. So it's whatever. I bought him a different one, but I'm like, I don't like this guy.
How much?
So you're just eating the profits on these slow days?
No. I barter. You know how it goes.
Oh.
Yeah, it's slow. I'm not going to sell anything. You know what I mean? It's raining like all hell. There's not going to be much market attendance. So it's one of the ways you can try to get rid of some product at least and gain something from the endeavor.
There you go.
Oh, I'll fucking skip around. Hey, guys, like mushrooms? No, not the kind that make you see clouds. Although I wish I had those. I'd be rolling up in a white Range Rover. The delicious kind, right? Yeah.
Call that bitch Rick Rouse.
And so they'll bite a lot of times. So I tried some I always try the Ethiopian tacos. They're like kitty corner to me or whatever.
Oh, the coleslaw tacos.
Well, they had like a little bit of coleslaw. Wait. The Ethiopians only had like a little bit of coleslaw. There was some serrano pepper and some red pepper and some other stuff in there. And then the Jamaican tacos, though. The Jamaican tacos had straight up coleslaw on them. They had 2 kinds. One was vinegar and the other one was creamy. Tanner, don't bust the blood vessel. I know you don't like this, but that Jamaican taco was killer, bro. It was Jamaican jerk chicken. It was amazing.
Don't you fucking dare.
Okay.
Sit there and defend these fucking blasphemous fucking. You want to talk about cultural appropriation? Who the fuck gets to come in here, take our taco, and fuck it all up with goddamn coleslaw?
The Jamaicans and the Ethiopians.
Here's the thing that pisses me off.
Appropriation.
That pisses me off.
I want reparations. I want reparations. Back up the fucking Brinks truck.
Reparations?
I want all that
It's
shit.
like a Brinks truck of pesos.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Bring some sour cream and guacamole too. Let's fucking load this bitch up. Because I'm
sick of Cool Ranch.
I think coleslaw on tacos. Tanner, you go.
Okay, I guess I'm just gonna be simple and straight here about this. You can call it an Ethiopian taco or whatever the fuck kind of taco. When you think of Ethiopia, do you think of their food being coleslaw? Why in the hell is coleslaw being associated with Ethiopian food? That makes no sense to me whatsoever. And these Jamaican imposter tacos. I got a proposition that might end this for me because I need to get past this imposter bullshit taco thing. If it isn't meat, lettuce, cheese, and a little bit of veggies, from now on, it's called a fucking tortilla roll-up. Okay, get taco out the name. This is ruining a great thing we have going.
Call it a wrap.
Tacos.
It's a wrap.
Tacos.
No, literally, it's a wrap.
Street tacos.
No, it's on a 6-inch corn tortilla. You couldn't wrap it anyway.
Fucking street.
Hey, all that shit they have at fucking Subway and everywhere else, they wrap the meat and the lettuce in there. They call that a wrap. That's what these fucking Ethiopian things are. That's what this conversation is. It's a fucking wrap. We're done with it.
Okay, it was delicious. Amazing. Delicious
I know we gotta wrap up soon, but this just hit my brain, okay? Toronto Raptors just won the National Basketball Association Finals. Does that mean they're getting invited to the White House?
Oh shit!
They're gonna go hang out with Justin Trudeau.
Or do they go to the Canadian capital? I don't know what they call that, but
The Parliament.
Parliament.
Brilliant question.
This just hit my
Prime
brain.
Minister Justin
I don't know
Trudeau.
why.
It's the
I
French fries.
assume since they're one of the big four, that invite to the White House isn't out of the question.
Does anybody check Trump's Twitter? Usually he's like the first to congratulate those teams.
No, I don't check to see what the Trumpster's up to or not.
Shout out.
I will.
Gravy.
I will when it involves if the Canadian basketball team getting invited to the
Right.
White House.
How does
You
that
might
work?
not know Toronto's in
And-
Canada, though.
Trump will just invite
James,
him.
why
"Hey,
the fuck do
can
you like?
join."
Why do you look like you're doing like a camo porn spread right now?
Me?
Yes.
I'm in a small break room. I got to try to get comfortable anyway.
He looks like he's in there just doing a photo shoot.
It's just for you, Marco.
Hey,
I
did you guys
appreciate
see that
All
Brian
steady
Kelly
going,
got to go
yeah.
visit Jason?
Yes.
Yeah, that
Saw
was
those
awesome.
pictures.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty awesome that Brian and Kelly got to go visit Jason. Shout out to friends of the show, Brian and Kelly, and of course Jason Wheatley, for being totally awesome human beings and getting to collaborate with one
Back
each
to
other.
back to
and
back
watch
guests.
Cubs game, no less.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. I'm pretty jealous.
Cuzzies meeting cuzzies. Awesome things.
Absolutely. We'll have to try to
It's
plan
always
some kind
a
of
good
deal up
thing.
there with Jason here in the future.
Heck yeah. So there's a couple things I want to talk about if we got time here, guys. Did you guys see that completely fucking random morel mushroom that I posted a picture of today?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him literally watering, and boom, there it is. Right. And if anyone knows the great extents to which I traveled to secure these
Was
delicious
that fucked up for
treats,
everybody else?
right? All right, so
Yeah, start that over from the picture.
okay, so did you guys see the picture of the completely random morel I found today in the log yard?
Yeah. Look good.
Okay. Yeah, right here on the farm. Just happened to be watering, looked over, boom, there it is. I've known that host tree was dying for a while and was hoping that would happen, but I didn't anticipate anything, especially this late in the year. So the irony of this is just striking to me because I roam all over God's green earth, looking far and wide, hundreds and hundreds of miles every spring, braving ticks, getting hospitalized with shit. And there's one right there. Just happened to look over and see it. Does anybody else catch that? Like, that's just my luck lately. And maybe it's turning in the better way, you know? So I got my kid involved. And I was like, what's this? And he was like, a morel, all excited and everything. So good stuff. But I sat there for a minute just shaking my head like, God damn it. You know, at least I didn't have to
I'm
spend a
surprised
gallon
you
of fuel
didn't
for
find it
this.
working on your truck.
Huh?
Yeah.
Surprised you didn't find it crawled underneath your truck or something trying to fix it.
Yeah, no shit. That would have been more ironic.
Matt, I want to be able to say that, and I hope this isn't getting too personal, but I feel like that's what kind of podcast this is. It seems like you were going through a little bit of a dark time not that long ago. So to see that you found something like that, it kind of seems like you've brightened up and like things are looking a lot better for you.
Yeah, steady income does that.
There we go.
Nothing's broke down in the last week, and that's always a good thing. I don't know. It just is what it is. You learn to shrug it off and do the best you can. And sometimes the hits just keep on coming. And you have to learn how to just keep getting up, no matter what. And, when you come out the other side, you're stronger for it, but you'd be surprised what you can live through, or you'd be surprised what you can live through, along the way. So I took a hell of a beating this year from life. I got a few gray hairs from it. Yet here I am, come and get me.
If there's one thing I've learned, and both of us are close to the same age, we're almost 40. But this seems like it can be a life lesson for anybody of any age. Take every bad situation that life hands you, and you have to take something out of there, and you have to learn from it. No matter what it is. No
You don't
matter
have to
how
make
bad
it.
is.
Don't lie to yourself and make it into something good out of the bad situation. Although with time and distance, it may become a good thing. But very much try to find the lesson. That's for sure. Don't be calling me old, motherfucker, just because I'm older than you.
I mean, you're pretty fucking old.
You kind of old.
Yeah, kind of old. So my birthday's coming up this weekend. It's also Father's Day weekend.
You're here.
Yeah, you get hosed.
I do. I get fucked every year, and I think that
Hey,
I'm
a lot of fathers
advocate.
would be happy about that.
I'm dadvocating right now, right? Because I get one birthday / Father's Day cakes, one birthday / Father's Day cake, one birthday / Father's Day present, right?
How much your fat ass need?
I feel like I need 2 steaks, 2 cakes, 2 blowjobs, and 2 presents. I'm just throwing that out there, right? Because if it was Mother's Day and it was your wife or your mother, there's no fucking way you get away with this, right?
Now, we all know that's not how this works.
Yeah, dads take the short end of the stick every fucking time, right? Just is what it is. But here's what I love about it. Everything I want is on sale. Father's Day sale, right?
All the time.
So if you're going to treat yourself, the time to do it is, I bought this for my birthday / Father's Day.
So you don't want me to do a fifth sandwich?
Well, I know I'm getting 2 presents this year because my wife got on to me for we were pretty budgeted up this winter, and I bought a T-shirt from Pat McAfee, and it was a bit of a domestic. It wasn't tranquil. Let's just say that. And so my resolution was, I handed it to her and I said, "Here, this is my birthday present from you to me." And so she took me on that, and I actually don't get it back till Saturday. I bought it in January.
Baller move.
Oh, wow.
I also pick out my own birthday presents because honestly, like they don't know what the fuck to get. They don't.
I think it may started a tradition here because pretty awesome. And I know I'm gonna get it's the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen Colt shirt that Pat McAfee did, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, fucking awesome shirt.
OBJ number 13, Browns jersey. Birthday's in August, bitch, right before the season.
There you go. So you're born in 1981, Marco.
I was
as well, which makes me the old fucker here in the room, hey?
Hey.
Oh well. Well, somebody's got to get old and die. Might as well be me. Could be you. No one lives forever. What's up, Tyler?
Not me. I'm only 30.
You're only 30? Yeah, you got a lot of living to do.
Yeah, bro. I swear to God, you look 42.
On my 30th birthday, I had a keg of Keweenaw Black Ale on my porch here at this house, and I just started my rafting company the year before. So
Wifey threw me a 30th birthday bash. That's how we celebrated.
Right on. Sounds
I
like
never celebrated 38 yet.
Yeah, I
5 more years.
My 29th birthday was in No, my 29th birthday was here. No, it wasn't. It was in Colorado. I moved here a month later. So yeah, I just started my rafting company the year before that. So pretty good time in my life too, because I was single. The girl I was dating at the time, we did not survive the first winter of the business, right? I had to stay. She didn't.
Smear you.
And
I decided it's
so
you.
it was
I
pretty
didn't cut enough wood to eat
I had a
both of
puppy.
us.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, exactly. You ain't big enough to keep me warm. You got to go. So I had a puppy, I had a rafting company, I had a lot of good friends, plenty of booze, decent budget, all that stuff, you know. And so it was a pretty good time to be me. Like 4 or 5 roommates basically living in this house that I live in now.
Speaking of a good time to be, you had a question for everybody. What was your favorite job you ever had?
Yes.
Matt?
Well, I mean, you guys, it's kind of a stereotypical answer. I did it for a long time. You know, I loved being a river guide. It was great. So you're equal parts like naturalist, medic, rescue tech, all this other stuff, right? There's a lot of technical aspects, but there's a human aspect of it, right? These people in your boat are afraid. Your job is to not, put them at ease, but to educate and advocate and teach them and train them, so it's a great experience for everybody. And we come through it with smiles and great memories. So there's a lot of room for humor there, especially when you do this day in and day out. And I love that with just the interacting with people and cracking jokes with people on the boat, and the moments in between when there's complete silence, and it's totally okay that there's complete silence because the scenery all around you and every aspect is just absolutely breathtaking. Crystal clear water, eagles flying by, shit like that, right? So and you stop and think, or you see the perfect glassy reflection off of like a big tongue leading into a giant wave or a big hole or feature in the river, and you think, oh my god, I can't believe I actually get paid to do this. In many ways, whitewater rafting guides are the lowest paid professional athletes in the world, and that's kind of what it's said amongst us. I think that's true. So I would very much like to guide whitewater for eternity if I had if I could do it reliably as far as pay and support my family.
I will say that I have been whitewater rafting probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 times. It's one of the funnest things I've ever done. It was usually between, I don't know, 3.5 to 5 hour float. It was the same distance, but every year it depended how high and low the water was.
You're talking about Shotgun Eddies on the Wolf, right?
Shotgun Eddies on the Wolf in Wisconsin. And, there's, four rapids. But in between, there's, probably a good hour float, depending on like I said, how fast the water goes. But it's just an amazing time. You take a cooler with you. You're drinking on the way down. I've taken my kids before.
Yeah, this wasn't that kind of rafting.
Yeah, no. The
stuff I did was very fast paced, technical.
Which would also
if you're awesome. In the know, if you happen to know about whitewater rafting, I was a paddle captain on some of the most technical rivers in the U.S. Right, particularly the Arkansas and the Nolichucky. Those are very tight, technical rivers. There's a lot of maneuvering and paddle captaining, which is I use my voice to yell to you after I teach you how to use your paddles, how to maneuver it, basically like a bobcat, Tanner, right? Right skier, right, like a skid steer or a tank, right? We got a thing that turns left, thing turns right.
This sounds like way more work.
On the back, rudder. So, and that's my voice was 99% of that.
Nice.
That sounds like way more work than I was used to.
Well, and this is, fast-paced, action-packed rafting. There are other rivers where I guided where it wasn't full throttle nonstop either, where there were long float ins and then a quarter mile of intensity and shit like that.
Tanner, what was your favorite job?
You can't get drunk.
I think I'm working it right now, but if I had to pick another one, I would, I'd go back to the days.
What's your favorite part about your job now? That's okay.
I kind of want to hear what you can go back to.
True.
Well, okay, I'll answer Marco's question first. My favorite part about this job is I'm helping farmers, essentially right now survive some depressed economies. My job is directly affecting.
Bad boys.
Yikes. My job is directly affecting the farmers' bottom lines, and I love that challenge. And let's leave it at that, I guess. And then if I had to go back, I would go back to my favorite job ever. Some days I still wish I was still doing it, but working for Texas Roadhouse. They opened one in La Crosse when I was a senior in high school. I got hired before they even opened, so I was part of the corporate training and all that, and learned pretty much every position in that restaurant besides surfing, I guess. But that was a blast. That was.
You got the recipe for JB on how to make them rolls?
Yeah, I do, but we don't give it out.
You and the Bush's Bean Dog gonna die with it, huh?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, something you promise you'll never do, so I won't, but I could make them for people, I guess. But I don't know, I love that. There's people from all different walks of life. I grew up in a very small, sheltered town, so I got to see more diversity in that little kitchen than I ever did my whole life. I was working side by side with 40-year-old dudes with neck tattoos who served time in prison, and I was working with guys of different races and sexual orientations and all sorts of cool women from different.
For you,
it was just awesome. It was my first exposure to kind of the rest of the world, and
So I've always
yeah.
moonlighted in kitchens. Whenever I was a carpenter and younger, working construction, home for the summers, before rafting, even during rafting, worked in the kitchens a lot. Or we would of course serve meals on the river if we're out multi-day trips. We have to cook and present and everything like that as well. So I love to cook, but the kitchens really are a diverse place. It's a melting pot of the world. I've worked with Mexicans, and I mean everywhere in South America. It seems like Italians, you name it, in kitchens. Dudes with neck tattoos,
Mexicans,
the whole
part
thing.
of North America, motherfucker.
Yeah, well, no, there's a lot of South American countries too that are represented here in the U.S. as immigrants that are found in kitchens.
The most important lesson I
Honduras
learned working in that kitchen was that standing between a guy who's working a 16-hour shift in that kitchen and his cigarette break might be the most dangerous position you could possibly be.
Not a good idea.
I saw people do crazy things to go get that 5-minute cigarette break, and I didn't understand it because I wasn't a smoker, but I respect the hell out of it because those guys they needed that to live.
Old cowboys had a saying, and it is, "Don't fuck with the cook." Right? And that's the truest things that you can ever live by. If you're camping, that's it. Don't mess with the cook. Cook rules all. That's all there is to it. So if he wants a cigarette, you're going to hold on for 5 fucking minutes. That's how it is.
One thing I learned, no matter if it's in a Chinese restaurant, an Italian restaurant, I've been to New York City where I didn't think it was possible. And I was in a real Irish breakfast cafe, and there was motherfucking Mexicans in the kitchen. I swear to God that we are all over the place in every kitchen and every ethnicity. I only see Mexicans in Chinese restaurants anymore. Like, who's cooking our food? The essays, all over the place, bro. Mexicans. I thought New York was nothing but Cubans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Mexicans run the kitchens, bro. I don't understand it.
It's not like that up north, but that's cool.
You better go inspect those kitchens.
I've seen the inside of these Chinese restaurants' kitchens recently. Only Chinese people.
Jose has been there.
One of my local Chinese places, the buffet, is starting to hire white people. And I'm starting, they've always had the Asians work there. And I'm just like, what's going on? It should be. It's weird that I'm looking at it as anything other than normal. I just find it odd.
It is odd. It's different from what we've been used to.
Well, yeah, and my wife and I are extremely well traveled, and we have friends of every race and nationality. Hell, my family photo looks like J.C. Penney's ad. We've been over this. So every nationality is represented in my grandmother, mom's family. You know what I mean? Just my mom's generation, my aunts, uncles, and then my sisters and I. Like, boom, there we go. Everybody's there, right? And so I don't have a racist bone in my body. But I'm just saying that, it is a curious thing to walk in there and be like, the faces are paler than I'm used to, and I don't know why this bugs me. I've noticed it. I guess like a detective notices things out of the ordinary. Well, old Detective Matt here walked in and looked around and said, better write this down in my notepad. May come in handy later.
I don't get it.
All right. Well, I don't get it either. That's why I'm asking you. Like, is it strange? What do you speculate would be the cause of that?
I don't know. Racist undertones.
Couldn't tell you.
So, yeah.
It sounds like you hate everybody.
Well, I'm not a racist. I hate everyone equally.
Are you a humanist? Man, fuck these people.
Fuck people.
Anybody can get it. Doesn't matter what color skin you got.
How do we feel about the things in the moon?
Oh, you have a heartbeat? Fuck you.
What's going on
the
with
things in the moon? I was thinking about this. Totally plausible.
I don't really know a whole lot about it. Basically, all I heard was
I volunteered to go explore that.
There's proof that there's stuff on the moon that wasn't on the moon before.
Well,
is that the gist of it?
Can we blame that on the Iranians too? Fucking radiance. Boy, that's getting tense, eh? Hopefully that cools off. I don't know what's going on in the moon. Hopefully there's a Pink Floyd concert going on up there and they didn't clean up afterwards or something, but
Yikes.
whatever it is, hopefully it's awesome. Transformers, we've all seen how this plays out, right? Could be any number of things. What do you think it is, Marco?
What do you do when hold on. We're getting off track here. Tyler, what was your favorite job?
Oh,
my favorite job I did up
Slinging
until
Sammy's
February.
innards.
I used to be the best delivery driver in Nebraska. I could probably confidently say that.
I think the delivery drivers need a road challenge competition. This should be a thing. Sean was talking about fast food fight clubs. I think this is where we missed out. We need delivery driver racing circuit.
I used to be the best.
Seriously.
I never forgot anything.
Explain the car and everything.
Copyright. Tyler, I nominate you and Jason Wheatley. Jason Wheatley can be our safety officer, right? Chief safety officer. You consult with him, figure out the logistics here. But I want to see a nationwide, like rough and rowdy style delivery driver competition.
Because I totally fucking win it. Because I was the best.
What's your delivery driver car of choice? 4-cylinder only.
I had a Toyota Camry that would only have first and fourth gear and no reverse.
How did that work? You just shotgunned it from, you pulled it down past driving to first, then gunned the fuck out of it until you could drop it into fourth and putts it forward?
No, it had a no-slip differential that was locked in, and so anytime it just plowed through 25 to 35 miles an hour really would suck. But once it got into fourth, it would be okay. And then reversing was I'd always park in a predicament where I couldn't reverse out of. So I would always keep it in drive and keep going.
My buddy had a delivery car similar to that story and had a rock that he used for a parking brake. You ever been there?
No, I did deliver to
he painted it pink so he would remember it too. He'd forget it all the time. Drive back around.
The only real predicament I got into it, I was delivering to an abandoned house that they were burning down for a fire exercise so that the fire people can practice on it,
Yeah.
And I was in a field. I was pulled into a field and I was in the ruts and I thought I could just rock myself back. And I know I had to have half the fire squad back me up into the main street, push me out.
That's awesome. Shit happens.
Like I said, I was the best. I up until an insurance snafu took that away, but it is what it is.
Fucking Flag's not even here to defend himself, taking insurance shots,
My easy answer is me and my buddy used to deliver kitchen cabinets and such to brand new remodels. And it was fun just because you drive for 45 minutes to an hour in between deliveries. You just drop shit off.
Right. Eat lunch everywhere, every day. Right.
But the legit answer is when I was in my early 20s, I worked at a semi-truck wash because obviously, I'm in Iowa. You get it.
At the car wash.
Right. It was actually at Interstate 80, the world's biggest truck wash, according to whoever keeps track of that shit. So,
according to Iowa standards.
Right. So, I was a supervisor there.
Texas ain't got shit on I-80. Stop in at the world's biggest car wash in America.
Truck stop, asshole.
Truck stop, asshole.
And so I used to supervisor there, and I used to deal with all the truckers and shit. But my job was to do sales and run the bay. And then it became it was legitimately a competition.
I'm a hustler, baby.
Where I ended up winning, the
Did you have a bunch of lot lizards out there scrubbing trucks, boosting sales?
I never saw any lot lizards, but I'll tell you the craziest shit I ever saw.
Let's get to this.
So you stand at the front of the bay, and you're literally guiding the truck in because if it's cold out, it's foggy. So you guide them in. As I was guiding this guy in, as I was guiding this woman in, long hair, dress.
Were you able to tell it was a woman and not a guy?
I was able to tell there was long hair and a dress because
Okay.
I guided her in. She got up out of her chair, walked back into her cab, and then a dude walked out in a flannel shirt and jeans.
Let's go. Good for her,
So,
him, whatever's
right?
going on there. None of my business.
And you know what? And that's exactly how I treated it. You know, I shook his hand and I explained to him what I was, but it was very awkward. The only other thing that happened besides that, and I wish I would have been able to call into Sean Latham's show the other day because I would have shared this. There was the lot out front. We used to have to keep 55-gallon barrels of salt because if it gets cold out, the trucks pull out, they drip water, creates ice. So
Right.
we have to salt the drives. Well, when our guys went to flip the lid open, there was a New York Yankees fitted hat, top down, with a huge human shit in it.
Ooh,
Oh,
yikes.
So apparently somebody really hates the fucking Yankees.
I'm not a huge fan. I'm a Don Mattingly fan, and that's about where it starts and stops with the Yankees. I like all the old school players, of course, especially Lou Gehrig, the Iron Man. Cal Ripken, of course, baseball's newest Iron Man. Still huge heroes of mine. Anybody that's that tough, for whatever it's worth. But I don't think I'd ever shit in a Yankees cap. I can see Patriots hat, though. I really
I've
do.
seen some crazy things that
Sometimes, maybe.
I
Yeah.
love those guys because they really keep us alive. Some of you are disgusting, and you know who you are.
I think we
right.
should wrap with that.
I think so. You guys got anything that's a must watch on Netflix, YouTube, etc.?
I got one.
Let's hear it.
It just came out yesterday, the 12th. Joe Coy came out on Netflix. I'm only a half hour into it, but it's absolutely hilarious. Joe Coy, if you haven't seen him, he's got Live from Seattle that came out a couple of years ago. He's a hilarious comedian. Go check it out.
Cool.
I think I'm gonna try to binge Chernobyl this weekend. See what I can. Just see how depressed I can get.
It's so good. It's so good.
Your
Like,
dick's
I
gonna glow
loved
in the
it.
dark when you're done.
Never done
You're
that
gonna get
before.
you're gonna get radiation poising and love Jared Harris.
Tyler, was it a good follow up to Thrones for HBO?
Yeah, yeah. It really was. If you can get past the first episode, oh my god, it's terrific.
All right, Tyler, what do you recommend people go watch right now?
I'm going to go watch Designated Survivor because third season just came out on Netflix, and I need to get caught up.
What's the premise there?
Designated Survivor the premise is during the State of the Union address, the designated survivor is the selected one of the cabinet that stays back.
Right.
And then the first episode, there is a bombing in the House of Representatives that takes out everyone. And the designated survivor basically puts the country back together. And it's really cool.
Nice. I recommend you go check out Historical Roast on Netflix, especially if you've ever heard of Comedy Central roast, right? Of anyone. My favorite being the roast of Rob Lowe, which features Peyton Manning, of course. There's some amazing ones over the years. I'm glad to see them becoming more frequent. And this is based from a historical perspective, i.e., so the first episode will have Bob Saget playing the role of Abraham Lincoln. And among the roasters will be John Stamos playing the role of John Wilkes Booth. Pretty fun shit.
If you've never seen a roast, those are hilarious.
Wow.
These are good. Not every one of them's a home run, but most of them are solid base hits. So it's good stuff. I enjoyed them quite a bit. Especially I'm on the second or third one now, and I'm still giggling. I love roast. Any roast material I can get, I'm going to gobble up.
Roast Battle, Comedy Central.
Oh, yeah.
Also worth it. Comedians roasting comedians like a rap battle. It's amazing.
All right, guys. That's it for this week. We'll roast you like a marshmallow.
Twitters.
Yep. I am at Shiitake Creek, ShiitakeCreek, Shiitake like the mushroom, creek like the body of water on the Twitters.
I'm at Vanilla Gorilla. Vanilla spelled the right way. VUHNILLA Gorilla. Follow me and prepare to be offended.
K Pasa Primo, QUEPASAPRIMO on Twitter. El Guapo 1321 on everything else. There you go, Tyler.
Tyler Allen on Twitter. TYLERALLEN. And hopefully we will have some videos coming soon. Hopefully.
I love video.
We have an audio video guy here.
Somewhere.
Supposed to be me.
Cameraman.
Allegedly.
Let's go have some fun. Hey, that's it for this week. Thanks everybody for joining us yet again. Stay tuned for our interview with our friend from the Mainly Stupid podcast, Garrett Hutchins, fellow Cuzzy and Barstool enthusiast. Until next time, adios. Happy trails. We bid you adieu. I say good night.
Adieu.
I said good night.
Adios.
Gavron.
Love, peace, and chicken grease.
Are we done?
We are done.
That was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be.
Sorry, guys.
It's okay. We got rambling.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
Tyler's the one that has to suffer.
I'm the one that actually listens and puts it together.
Yep.
So the one we recorded on Monday and this will be combined then?
Correct. Hopefully for tomorrow, if I'm quick enough.
Okay.
Yeah, we're all together. This one was like 2 fucking hours.
I'm going to splice out the insignificant bits because we talked about 35 minutes worth of content, and I think I can get another 40 out of here.
It'd be cool to get this one out pretty shortly after the finals for hockey and NBA, the way it stays relevant.
That's the goal.
Cool. Well, this was fun.
Yeah, I liked it. It was a good time.
You guys are awesome. I enjoy doing this stuff with you guys. We're getting better.
What was that? Can you start that over? We didn't hear you.
We did
You can
too.
take
Fuck him.
This
Yeah.
right here.
He's
Shine
being a
this
douche.
up
The
real
Mexi-
nice.
the
And take that
Mexicans
little
just
disco
lit.
finger and stick it straight up your candy ass.
What a douchebag.
Sideways.
You.
Or Ronnie. Did you guys see? I didn't mean to go so hard in the paint at him this morning when he was like, "Oh, Ty Schmidt, take it easy on my team." Did you guys listen to that?
Yeah.
That was
Gorms.
hilarious.
And Ty fucking roasted the Raiders. It was beautiful.
Oh, I wanted to. I have yet to listen to it yet.
Oh my God, it was great.
I don't
I
care what
walked
anybody
into
says. Gorms is getting better and better every episode.
Yes, he is. He is.
But
I
There's no
told you,
denying.
Grimes is a
I think
I swear to
Exceptional
God.
human.
I swear to God. It's so funny.
Ty
This Lou
Schmidt
Holtz
needs
is-
his own
I'll tell you what.
video
Yeah, Ty
series
does
or
too.
podcast or something. I fucking love Ty. That guy is hilarious. He
I was
never
on-
misses. He
I was
never
on-
misses.
Super fucking smart, man. That guy knows everything about movies.
And he just goes off with these little mini rants, and I love it. I just think he's so funny. I get it. I relate to him pretty well. Passionate about the dumbest shit.
Yeah.
Ty's awesome.
There's a part of me that wishes I could just let loose with all the, the little devil that sits on one shoulder and the angel that sits on the other, right? Your conscience. Well, I feel like there's two devils on one shoulder, like hugging, getting drunk, and dancing, playing Leonard Skinner, and the other side has a now hiring sign open.
Well, you mean
Right.
so standard.
And I have to fight both of those little bastards because if the shit that they say comes out of my mouth, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get put in a cage. But there are times I want to so bad. You know what I mean? There's part of me that wishes I could just go Schmidt-less on the public. And in that realm, I respect the shit out of him. You know,
Right.
For sure.
I'm with you.
I'm just saying, I'm a fan. You know, I can't wait to see what this live show brings. This is gonna be. I suspect a hoot.
What do you
What
think?
do you guys
What do you
think?
think it's gonna be?
They're gonna film a live podcast, right?
Okay.
While we're there.
Oh,
And I
that's
think it's
it.
also, I think simultaneously that basically we're going to get to see the preview of what's going to be a Netflix special.
I also think they'll have an hour of, or somebody do a set of some kind.
Yeah.
I think.
I think they're
Before
going
or
to do quite a
after.
bit of sets and pageantry, something along the lines of the Trailer Park Boys live show.
Todd will actually, they'll probably have Gorms do a couple minutes, then Todd will come up, then Pat will come up.
Seeing Gorms dressed out as Lou Holtz
I think that. I mean, you guys are probably
or Brokaw.
onto something, but I think they're making a return to radio.
You think
Where?
so?
I
They
think
definitely alluded to it, but
I think they're Dan Patrick channel bound.
Yeah,
with Rich
me too.
Eisen.
I heard just the other day. My dad is like probably the biggest Bob and Tom show fanatic in Wisconsin. I mean, he will pay money every time those guys are nearby. Go see them. But
you think they're going to represent gambling on Dan Patrick's show?
that's exactly what Bob
They're
and
gonna
Tom
break it
guys. The Bob and Tom guys were talking about, like Dan.
That's the
Patrick
first thing my brain thought of.
Needing an NFL alumni player, and my
Yeah.
dad was like,
To bridge the gap.
Why wouldn't they fill that role with Dan Patrick's guys? Because Dan Patrick, they talk a bit about gambling. They don't have that degenerate style to them.
Yeah.
And they have the meat, they have the pull, they have the network, they have the breadth. McAfee and those guys could fucking explode.
Yep.
But I think it's 2 hours on the evening. I think is where they're gonna go.
They'll make adjustments.
Because I don't think Pat will sign up for 3 hours again.
They're recording in the evenings right now.
Is that on Sirius Radio?
Yeah,
Dan Patrick
it's on
show?
Sirius.
What?
Yeah.
Dan Patrick? Yeah,
Yeah.
he has his own time slot.
Well, his
They should
channel's
give him his
about
own
to
channel, 'cause
explode. Yeah, I think so too. Here's what I
No,
would
he
love
has
to
his
see.
own channel.
I think- no.
Rich Eisen's on it.
I think Pat
and,
needs
like-
his own channel. I think that Pat could easily, with people within his grasp, it's just my personal opinion, of course, and it isn't our shit. But with the people within his grasp and the quote unquote Cousin Kingdom, plus the alumni that he's aligned with from all kinds of different sports, I think Pat could easily start what would be essentially a Barstool-esque channel. You
I don't
know,
think he wants to manage that.
I don't think he does either.
Honestly, that's the limiting factor, man. I don't
June
think your idea is bad. I think
June 13th, 2019, you heard it here first. So,
they're obviously staying in Indianapolis, correct?
Oh yeah, Pat said that before. He'll never leave. That's
Right. So because of the Indianapolis thing, I think that's the end game. I bet Pat ends up with his own channel. I bet he ends up with his own sports empire. I really do.
But I just think from the radio
maybe
side,
he's the time traveler.
and with
maybe he's just triggering
Dan
this.
Patrick and Rich Eisen occupying daytime slots, and I reckon they're just looking for somebody to fill in that 6 to 9 or 7 to 10 sort of.
Wait till they
gap.
see that the ratings go through the roof.
Do you
You guys
remember?
know it.
Do you remember when the fallout came with Barstool and
Mhm.
Prez got on Barstool Radio that day, and
Yeah.
he said Pat McAfee show on Sirius was the 5th highest show in the ratings,
Yeah.
and that's why they waited so long to realign the Barstool Radio lineup after Pat left, because Sirius actually entered into negotiations with Pat to keep that time slot but be independent from Barstool.
Yeah.
That's why they had to wait so long, because Portnoy knew he could make money and he wouldn't have to pay Pat.
Right.
And like, to have the 5th biggest show on Sirius, I mean,
Yeah.
that's Howard Stern,
Look, let's be honest.
Howard
religion one.
Stern,
Pat
Jim
blew
and Sam.
Barstool up. No matter how you dice it up, Pat blew Barstool up. Whatever it was before, it became a monster overnight because of Pat.
He was a huge part of it.
He still echoes through it.
Yeah, especially with the premiere of the channel. Like, he was a lot of the first person we would listen to in the morning.
Oh,
I was a fan of Pat, and then I became a fan of Barstool.
Yeah, I was a fan of Pat, the Colt, Pat, the guy who did the little internet show for the Colts, Pat, the guy who was Colt, got arrested, Pat, the Colt that also was on Bob and Tom, and then Pat, the cocky ass punter doing the fucking waves and the dances and hitting the big ass blocks. And then, all right, what's this Barstool shit? He's quitting the NFL to join, right? And that's where it all began. I was there. I listened to. I mean, I literally got a smartphone just to see what this shit was all about at the point. That's when I began to listen to podcasts as well.
See, I was backwards. I had I like Marco am a combat sports enthusiast, so my radio like never left. It was Fight Nation or it was some Sirius XM Rush at the time, and it like I never changed the channel. And so like when Barstool Radio come on, I was like, hell yeah, something different. So I listened to that the 2 years before the channel. And like anytime Pat was on, it was always a magical moment.
But Barstool when they would come on Rush, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I was from Bob and Tom. That's where I heard Pat for the first time.
That's where I listened to, and I always thought Dave Portnoy was a big fat Kevin Owens looking French Canadian until I actually saw a pizza review.
Oh my god,
that's great.
But it's kind of interesting how you guys fell in love with Pat first, but I fell in love with Barstool first, and then Pat was just like
Ronnie was insane.
Extra.
Ronnie was Barstool first.
Ronnie was a huge stoolie.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a Barstool themed wedding.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
When I mean, I was a fan of Barstool. I mean, I don't want to sound like a douchebag.
I never heard of Barstool
like, back in high school. I would read the blogs and stuff, and I didn't really understand. I didn't really understand their scope, I guess. But I also was young, so I wasn't drinking. I wasn't at bars. I wasn't able to participate in all the stuff they were doing. But then I picked up on some Pat McAfee stuff, and then once they announced his podcast, and I understood that it was like part of Barstool Sports, and then I just kind of like dove deep into the cult. I mean, I can't get enough of Barstool, and I fucking follow everything the PMI crew does.
Mm-hmm.
My free time gets wrapped up in that content.
I still only follow Sean as far as Barstool. I mean, I follow YP and shit. And I follow those guys, but I don't call in it. I just coincidentally called into that one show that one day. I don't even remember the
CCK.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I'm a fan.
Here's an odd quote.
I feel dirty in some ways for like. I mean, I love Sean, JB, Vibs. That's undeniable. Like they're whatever happened with them and Pat is between all them. I got no quarrel with any. I don't have to draw battle lines because someone doesn't work for someone anymore, right? And obviously they stem from the Pat aspect, but basically everyone else on Barstool, I mean, I like Pat or I like Chaps, and of course Pat introduced me to him. That's where that came from. I love Large. Large is I jive with, same as you, Tanner, and Will, of course, as well. Yep. And then YP, and that's really where I draw the battle lines. That's where I'm aligned. You know what I mean? As far as Barstool goes. And it's nothing against anyone else. I just haven't. I don't know. I'll turn on a show, and if it doesn't entertain me, 20 minutes later, I'll just fucking throw Pandora on or something. Just like I'm not going through this. I definitely don't do Big If True, and I don't do the Cousins. We've talked about this before. So
yeah,
whatever happens, whether Packets is on live show or not, whatever happens next, it's going to be awesome. So
Pat couldn't afford to pay Sean. Was what happened with that?
No, I thought he was going to lose Sean regardless.
Yeah, no, he couldn't afford to pay him, and then I think him and Vibs had a falling out, and then he couldn't afford to pay JB just because I think she was just kind of like the last man on the totem pole.
I can't blame Vibs for fucking I don't know. Vibs.
I wasn't there. I have no idea what really happened.
Got along.
Well, I mean, from what we know, right? Vibs for he got pulled off of radio. He got pulled off of a lot of the podcasts because he was going all in making content on that wrestling stuff.
Yeah.
He was going. I mean, that's why they hired Bailey. I don't know if you guys know that, but
Yeah.
Bailey got pulled on to just work with Vibs and record that wrestling stuff. And then when that got dumped, I can't blame Vibs for going to the company that held the rights to all that, all of his work.
Yeah.
Because Pat had to give that up. I can't blame him one bit. Now, did he maybe that he didn't act the right way? I don't know. And just like what you said, Matt, if we weren't there, we don't know. But I cannot blame him for following the company that owned the rights to his
Anybody ever
work.
catch Hooker's side of the story on this matter?
Yeah, it's I don't know if I believe
I
Hooker's
don't
side.
buy that.
Just throwing
I
it
don't
out
buy
there.
his side.
I don't know. I know that Pat and Vibs had beef. Like I don't think they were fans of each other. So I think that's why he bailed. But
I think Vibs was doing some pretty cool stuff at Barstool.
no, I think he's doing fine.
Yeah.
that Barstool Sports Science, that is funny.
That's hilarious shit.
I think that is so.
It's
freaking
hilarious.
funny. And when he jumps on Sean's show, I think he's now full time on there. At least it seems that way.
Yeah.
He has again those just random one-liners that he was famous for on Pat's show.
I wouldn't doubt it if he becomes maybe not one of the top comedians, but he'll be a notable comedian within the next 15 years.
DJ.
Sure. Yeah, he's still grinding.
He's witty.
He's doing open mics and stand up all the time. He was just on.
He's
Right.
He was just on Chaps and Kate's show tonight. and he was
He's
talking about
always
that.
wearing. He's always wearing pants.
right
No shorts.
perfect place for him to be. New York will shape him and grind him into a solid comedian, I'm sure. But
Well, whatever happens next for all of them, I wish him the very best.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
brought
Yeah,
us all
for
together,
sure.
right?
well,
Yeah.
it's been fun. So
Bunch of fuckos getting each other together. Look at Brian and Kelly and Jason, for example. All because we all fucking listen this shit while we're working, basically.
Right?
Right?
Mm-hmm.
show.
Bunch of invisible coworkers gluing us all together, just chirping in the background. Right?
Now in the background, every time I looked out at my motherfucking screen, I got a little blue notification.
Definitely. All right, guys. Fucking time.
Yeah, I'm going to bed.
Oh, you guys fuck
Yeah,
off.
I gotta stop this.
Hey,
Tyler, you don't sleep tonight, okay?